Yo, 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 Ross, what's good with you, man? How you doing today, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm ready to put the foot on the neck, man. I'm ready to put the foot on the neck, man. What about you?
Man, I'm ready. I see we got people in the queue. They was waiting already. So let's jump into this, man. Terence Crawford, he ain't no fucking hometown hero. He's a hometown cheater. See, when you make a speech in front of kids and you tell kids, I'm a hero, also make sure that you tell them why you're a hero. Make
Mm-hmm.
sure you tell them what got you to the position to supposedly be a hero. You're not a hero, dude. You can pump your chest, but tell people how you did it. You did the shortcut. You're a hometown cheater. I want in the speech for you to also say that you loaded and you padded your gloves. I want you in the speech to also say that you did PED usage. I want you in the speech to say that I worked with Victor Conte. I want you in the speech to also say that I worked with this Irish mobster, David Conahan. Same dude that was with Tyson Fury. I want you in the speech to say that I have an active lawsuit out with David Avocado, who's basically saying that I have tampered with gloves. So when you make a speech, make sure that you're bringing all of the nuances of the speech. So are you a hometown hero? No, you are a hometown cheater. You can't be sitting here gloating, pumping your chest, making people think that you won a WWE scripted fight, a fake fight. A fight that was an illusion, a fight that was the Matrix. So Terence
Word.
Crawford, I'm talking to you, motherfucker. You have a responsibility to tell people that you cheated because eventually the truth is gonna come out. So what you got to say, bro?
Yeah. When I look at the situation and I peep the people that are eating this up, there's a separation, a generation gap in the black community. In the younger black community, they they're tailor made for the Matrix. They're tailor made for the Illuminati. The older black generation kind of see through the bullshit. Especially if it's born in the 80s, late 70s, you see through the bullshit. Like the demographic who's buying into the Terence Crawford shit, they're the same demographic that watch Kanai Sanat, they watch Adin Ross, they think acting like you're a homosexual is funny and is they think that's cool. They took Adin Ross's side when Adin Ross kept asking about Charleston White's dick. And he kept saying, "Hey man, why are we talking about that? This, that, and the third." He kept wanting to talk about the man penis. But generation, this generation, they're all for whatever the Matrix has to offer, whatever the Illuminati has to offer. So they believe anything. They believe anything. They believe you could go from an elite fighter to a C class fighter overnight. They think they think going on a platform and being quasi homosexual for some money is cool because you're getting the bag. They don't question it. It's been black people coming out attacking Charleston White because he checked Adin Ross in them. Like he's the one that's wrong because he didn't want to have sex with a tranny. Because he didn't want to talk about his penis to other men. They think it's something wrong with him. That's
Wow.
that's this generation. And that's why a whole crowd of people could meet Terence Crawford and act like what they saw is true. You know what I'm saying? Act like what they saw is actually real. Because what's real don't matter. It's what things look like. In this generation, why you think all the women wear weave? What's underneath the weave don't matter as long as you believe what on top of it is real. Why you think all the women wear pounds of makeup? Why you think all the women have fake bodies now? Because what's real doesn't matter. What's real don't matter, and they know that. So they know they could just they could. This is the easiest time to trick black people. Majority of
Yep.
them, because we
Yep.
accept anything. The Project Blue Beam, whenever they do that shit, it's gonna trick so many black people because they're gonna actually believe that they saw the second coming. They're gonna actually believe that they saw UFOs, and it's just gonna be beamed up in the sky.
Wow.
This generation, man, is the easiest to trick. Cash Crypto, what's up? Most High, what's up, man?
It's interesting you said that because we live in a time where everything is being force fed to people, and people are not questioning anything that's being presented in front of them. They're just accepting all of the nuances. Like, for instance, how did Terence Crawford become superhuman overnight?
Overnight.
How did Terence Crawford started all of a sudden sipping on a super soldier serum cocktail overnight and no one questions it? How come Terence Crawford is able to knock out people like he's Deontay Wilder overnight? How can someone like Adin Ross laugh about something as sensitive as a man's sexuality overnight? Because in the 90s, in the 2000s, these things were very frowned upon.
Right.
Damn near, it was you would get canceled immediately talking about shit like this. But now we deal with a society, a taboo society that tells us we have to participate in everything, even if you don't have no affiliation or
Right.
participation in what you're doing. You still got to participate, and if you don't participate, you get shamed for it. You get
Right.
cited for it. You get basically look like you're polarized. Matter of fact, your income could be affected. Your paycheck could be affected for speaking out against certain things. So excuse me when I'm going to tell you I'm not going to fall for the matrix. I'm not going to fall for anything that's put in front of me. I'm going to question everything that's put in front of me. And if it
Mm-hmm.
makes you feel bad because you desperately wanted to win, like Terence Crawford's win so much that you had to tell yourself that, you know what, I have to accept this. It is what it is. If you want to sit there and laugh with Adin Ross because he's laughing at the fact that here's a black man that I'm putting under the microscope and I'm basically intermingling him and I'm basically making it seem like he's had sex with another man, because that's what a tranny is, another man. And the black man is basically telling you, no, I don't do shit like that. We should stop it right then and there. We should stop it in its tracks right then and there and accept it. But
Right.
no, continue to put him in satire, because that's what it is, satire. Then it tells you this generation right here really needs fucking help. And then when you got guys who celebrate the fact that they were in prison, and that's not something to celebrate, and guys that celebrate the fact that, you know, they're not coming out, even though they are giving you every indications that they need to come out. What
Mm-hmm.
does that say about you? Like, are you ashamed of yourself that you can't be who you are? Because in this day and age, all you got all these people coming out and saying who they are. But why are you still acting like you're, you know, in the closet? I don't understand that.
Right. And one thing about these people that I realize is they love parades, man.
Mm-hmm.
They love parades, bro. You know what I'm saying? Don't let that go over your head.
Yep.
But anyway,
Yep. They love that shit. They love the
and
fuck out of that.
there's a split in the generation gap. One generation feels that if they don't accept everything, that that's an old man point of view, that they must at least try to give a man some head before they say they're not gay. One
Yep.
generation believes in that. The other generation believes men are men, women are women, and that's a separation.
Yep.
Because one generation is easily bamboozled, easily tricked. And you
Yep.
can see how they don't question anything. Long as, because when you're feminine, you're gonna go with the status quo. You're gonna go with whoever you deem has the power. Because that's what women do. You know what I'm saying? But when you're masculine, you're more steadfasted in the way you think. You're more
Yep.
steadfasted in your principles, and you're more inquisitive. When you hear something,
Mm-hmm.
you're more inquisitive when your rights are being violated. You're more inquisitive when the tradition is being frowned upon. Because you're like, hold on, we've been doing this shit forever. Since
Yep.
I've been since I can remember, Men have been men, women have been women, and it was okay just to be a manly man. Since
Yep.
when is it wrong for Charleston White to say, um, I don't want to talk about my penis. Why you stay talking about my penis? Blase, blase.
Mm-hmm.
Since when is wrong for Charleston White to say he don't want to have sex with your transsexual friend? Since when has that been wrong? Why is that wrong?
It's
No,
the
no,
it's
no,
the
no. Prison was never a rite of passage. Even in the hood, even in the most gangster city known to man in Chicago, avoided avoided prison was the rite of passage. But going to prison was because you got caught, man, and you needed to
mm-hmm.
know how to survive while you was in there. But it wasn't a rite of passage. A rite of passage was actually becoming the man in your neighborhood.
Facts.
That was the right man to being accepted by the adults, by the adult men in your family. That was the rite of passage. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Never the rite of passage, man. And whatever happened to you in that prison, man, listen, man, it wasn't your fault, man. Whatever they did to you, you don't got to carry that with you, man. But you haven't let that go, and now it's starting to show in your outside life that you still living in that prison of where you was forced to look at. I would say you was forced, but you was forced to be around naked men. Now you choose to want to see naked men.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta let that prison mindset go, man. That's homosexuality, man.
Yep.
The prison mindset, the hood mentality of this generation is homosexuality.
Mm-hmm.
They hate women. They don't dislike how women act. They hate women.
Mm-hmm.
They act like they like them, but they hate them. They enjoy seeing other men's packages.
Mm-hmm.
They enjoy seeing the alpha man who's not feminine fall.
Yep.
Right? It's all emasculation. It's all the matriarchy.
Mm-hmm.
Because under the matriarchy, men are feminine because they got to be under women.
Mm-hmm.
God created a patriarchy, man. Man is head, then women. And when it's a patriarchy, men aren't allowed to be feminine. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Step back into the patriarchy. You're in the matriarchy right now, which is long form of the matrix, and you're basically opening yourself up for everything.
Yep.
You want to see men have sex with men. You want to look at men's packages. You want to see men have sex with your girl. Black men have never operated that way.
Yep.
And it shows the type of men who root for Bud Crawford
Yep.
and the type of men who root for Errol Spence, for Floyd, for Leonard Lewis and the alphas. There's a distinct definition. There's a distinct gulf in between.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. They want us effeminate. They want us effeminate.
Interesting you said that because the world we live in is taboo, man. Um, we have to question everything. I mean, this goes even down to the foods we eat and stuff like that. Everything has been altered. Everything has been changed. Everything is pretty much quick, fast, in a hurry, like UPS. Nothing is nothing is slow crawled. Nothing is patient anymore. Nothing is worth, time. Nothing is worth people trying to take the time out to research. People don't even research shit no more. They go
Nope.
watch something real quick. Oh, okay, this person said this. I got the information I need. I'm good to go. You know, that's how most people operate these days. They
Yep.
operate off of, if I have this basic principle or basic line information, I'm good to go. I don't need nothing else. Because at the end of the day, I have everything that I need for me to be able to coexist. People are not informing themselves. People are not hungry for knowledge anymore. People just want to be caught in a vacuum of, this is what life is. So because this is what life is, I have to accept it. So when you get a
Right.
content creator like Adin Ross that comes in and passes something as serious as making serious allegations on a heterosexual man and questioning his sexuality, That tells you everything you need to know on how fucked up the system is in terms of how people are moving.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a responsibility to, when we see something like that, to then question it and say, okay, what the fuck is going on? And what can we do to fix it? You know, how can we set the tone? How can we challenge? And they hate when people challenge the system. That's why they hated Kevin Samuels, because Kevin Samuels challenged the system. They
And,
hate.
and who was his biggest haters? Women and men under the matriarchy, feminine men.
Yep.
So you're
Yep.
right.
So, we live in a society now where everything is altered. Everything is not real. I won't be surprised if they start introducing robots eventually. I just feel like that shit's gonna be coming. Um, Everything is just what it is, man. AI. So when you have somebody like Big Tyrone 720 that is a open book of crying out, he's literally crying out to you that he's
Right.
hurting, but he's doing it in joking around and laughing and saying, "Look at me, I need attention." That tells you everything you need to know. The brother's hurting. So, in all honesty, that brother needs prayer, man, because he's hurting
Yeah.
more so than anything else. Terence Crawford fans suffer from something that they've missed, a very important thing that they've missed, and it's called fatherlessness. And it shows, because when you could celebrate a guy's win and tell people in your life, in your channel, delete your channel. If I ever see you, I'm gonna fuck you up for not giving Bud his win. What that tells me is you're not used to winning in life. You're not used to having successes, and because of that, when you have something that really, in all essence, is not your success. How does Terence Crawford win? Supposedly, it's an alleged win. We don't really call it a win here, but how does his alleged or supposed win, his fake win, make you any better in your life?
Right.
Like, how does that change your demographic? How does it change you? Because it doesn't impact you in any shape, form, or fashion.
Let me say something
Why
real
do you
quick.
take it so
We got 20,
personal?
we got 29 people in here. We need 29 likes. We only got
Mm.
14 likes. We got 29 people. We need 29 likes.
And people need to donate to motivate, man. Because we giving you guys that heat and that fire. We keeping the foot on the necks, and we separating the weak from the strong. But in all honesty, it's a question I'm asking, because all we get from people is a flagrant disregard for wanting to hear the truth. They just want to hear the lies that they want to fucking hear. And the lies that they want to hear is Terence Crawford did something notable. No, Terence Crawford is a hometown cheater. He didn't do anything notable. Adin Ross is part of today's society that tells you we can pass anything under satire. We can pass anything under jokes. And when real people suffer, when the real ones suffer, when the strong ones suffer, this is what you get. You get a parade of the weak ones celebrating. You want to know why they're celebrating? Because of the fact that that person is no longer there to be able
Right.
to give them what they need. The low
Yep.
key, Kobe Bryant's passing, there's a lot of people that will celebrate low key. They didn't do it out loud.
Yeah, low key, LeBron really was happy. He had to fake like he was hurt.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron was happy because with Kobe out the way, his minions could push him up the ladder. As long as Kobe was alive, he would he could never quasi pass Kobe. They wouldn't even be able to do it in the media as long as Kobe was alive. A lot of media members were scared to say the shit that they're bolder to say now. But when it comes to Big Tyrone saying what he said about Kevin Samuels, you gotta understand one thing. The beta males were happy that Kevin Samuels passed.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're under witchcraft. The witches, the feminists, and the beta males who suck up to the witches, they were happy because as long as the alpha male was standing on alpha tendencies and saying what basically what God wants you to say, because when you say men are men, women are women, and men need to be men, you're going directly against witchcraft. Because witchcraft says men should act like women.
Mm-hmm.
Witchcraft says women should act like men and men should act like women. And men should submit to women.
Mm-hmm.
That's what witchcraft says. Kevin Samuels was saying the opposite. So at the end of the day, I'd rather be Kevin Samuels and get caught up tricking on a woman than get caught up tricking on another man and look at packages.
Exactly.
Because if you would have got caught up tricking on another man, you would have nothing to say.
Yep.
You would have nothing to say. And most of the black
You
community...
end up like Malik Yoba. That was the name I was looking for. Or Chingy. He's suffering, Big Time Room 720 is suffering that Chingy fate. Every time I want to leave, something keep holding me back. You in my life. That's what he's suffering, man.
He don't really want to look at Terence Crawford package, but he feel compelled to.
Yep.
You feel compelled to, man.
So something keep holding him back. It's that package, man.
Bro fighting demons. Anytime you see niggas with jogging pants on, he be fighting demons.
Yep.
I'm fighting demons. That nigga fighting demons, man.
Fighting that meat check, man. Holding me back. Need you in my life. Every time I gotta go, something keep holding me back. We know it's holding you back. Terence Crawford's meat. That's what's holding you back. And people don't want to accept the fact that, like Asante L said, Terence Crawford's win don't even feel like Terence Crawford's win. It doesn't feel like a real win. You know why? Because it was fake. Because when somebody really wins, you're gonna get a universal acceptance of it. Shit, Devin Haney's win against George Kambosos was 1,000% more credible than this shit. Why? Because Devin Haney won fair and square. There was no collusion. There was no none. He was just the better fighter that night. So his undisputed made sense. But when you sit there and you look at Terence Crawford, his win don't make sense. There's nothing about his win that justifies any damn thing.
It didn't make sense. And whenever you see a fight that don't make common sense, it's usually something is up with it. Okay, we 32 people watching, only 18 likes. Get the likes up, man.
Yep.
Get the likes up, man. You know what I'm saying?
And donate to motivate.
That way we don't have to take a pause and play some music.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Hit the likes up, man. We're trying to keep this going, but 32 people in here, 19 likes. That means there's a lot of haters in here.
Yep.
That means there's a lot of haters in here.
Even if you hate and hit that like button. Even if you hate, you obviously here because you getting entertainment. So donate to fucking motivate. And those that rock with us, that always ride with us, donate to motivate. You know the Cash App, you know the Venmo. So donate. But anyways, back to what we're talking about. We're talking about guys that are suffering, man. It's very clear. This is why these guys are listening in week in, Ross. They're listening in because God has put us here on his purpose to help build and shape these men, give them what they were lacking from early onset of childhood behavior. They lack this. So now they're getting it in their elder years. They're getting two men that are standing here and teaching them what masculinity is all about. When you look at Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, the masculine response to give yourself is something was wrong with that fight. Because when Errol Spence don't look like Errol Spence and Terence Crawford look too superhuman, you have to say something was wrong. But if you believe what you saw and you don't question it, something is fundamentally wrong with you as an individual. And that's how I see it. You're supposed to question what you saw. And if you don't question what you saw, something is fundamentally wrong with you upstairs. Someone said Errol Spence, Bud Crawford was just like Fury versus Wilder first fight, damn near identical. In terms of what? The cheating aspect? Because I don't think the fight played out identical.
Yeah, the fight wasn't identical at all. That
Yeah, it
fight was
wasn't that far
that
off.
fight was identical to the to what? Which fight was it
Mhm.
when Deontay Wilder looked nothing like himself?
Yeah.
What fight was that? The third one?
Yeah, it was just. I think it was just.
It was the second
I
one.
think it was the second one. It was
It
the
was the
second one.
second one. Because in the third one, he almost knocked him out again.
Yeah.
In the second one, that fight looked more like the second one.
Yep.
Yes,
And
indeed.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. I can't hold Spence accountable for his performance because Spence was drugged. And I believe now that somebody in Spence's team probably drugged him. Because
I never
nobody,
let. Go ahead, my bad.
nobody is nobody's without fault here. And Ross opened my eyes on that shit. So everybody got to get it, man. I believe somebody in his camp was in on it, man, and probably drugged his ass. Because I'm not gonna grade Errol Spence's performance and say Errol Spence performed when Errol Spence didn't even look right. Can't grade his performance on that. I can't grade his flaws because Errol Spence has never showed you flaws to a degree of what that fight looked like. That's ridiculous. Errol Spence never fights sloppy like that. Never fights with lack of sturdiness, no
Right.
durability. Fight not coming at you stalking. He has a pretty good fucking defense in the high guard. And then he goes from that to all of a sudden just keeping his hand down. Come on, man. Isn't his term hand down, man down? So why is his hand down? So no, I'm not grading his performance because I didn't even get the real Spence. And that's why I say, can the real Earl the True Spence please stand up? Because I didn't get the real one. Slim Shady was on to something when he made that quote.
Right.
He wasn't the real Earl Spence. So enough with the Earl Spence's performance. No, let's talk about Terence Crawford's performance. Terence Crawford was out there doing shit like he was a fucking Ninja Turtle. I didn't know Terence Crawford was a mutation overnight. Come on, man. Stop the nonsense.
The thing about I never let Hispanics tell me to hold a fighter accountable, or when they try to question a black fighter, because most of the black fighters can't fight. They're horrible.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time when they lose, they never hold. You still got Latino people saying that Castillo and Floyd Mayweather was a close fight.
Yep.
That Castillo won. Look at that fight. Castillo was doing nothing the whole fight but holding Floyd Mayweather and hitting him in the arms.
Yep.
He landed maybe 30 clean punches that you could say they're clean, but they were like grazing punches. Floyd had landed all the clean flush punches in that first fight. The fight wasn't even close, man. But because it was ugly, he made it ugly. He was tripping all over himself, tackling Floyd Mayweather and shit. Like, because it was an ugly fight, they said it was a close fight.
Yep.
Like, no, man. All because the fight is ugly doesn't mean it's close. It's ugly when you have guys in there who rely on what? Coming in bigger than everybody, who rely on just moving forward, catching punches with their head. Those guys make fights ugly, but they can't really fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so for you to say we need to hold Errol Spence accountable, when have y'all held any Latino fighter accountable?
Exactly.
When have y'all haven't held Canelo accountable? Canelo been ducking Andre and Jamal Charlo for 10 fucking years now, man.
Yep.
Y'all ain't held him accountable. Y'all entertaining y'all at the moment as we speak. Y'all are entertaining a Crawford Canelo fight.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't want him to fight nobody at his weight class that could beat him.
Facts.
Y'all allowing him to fight Jamal Charlo right now. That shouldn't even be an option if Benavidez is available.
Yep.
How is that an option? How is Jamal Charlo an option when Andre is available? Why is it this nigga get this? So until y'all start holding your own fighters accountable, don't even say nothing about our fighters.
Yep.
Nothing. Because y'all don't keep the same energy.
Yep.
And if y'all did, when so many of y'all fighters be getting hurt and be getting injured and be put in wheelchairs because they will learn how to defend themselves properly. I keep saying this Mexican fighter, the Mexican style. The Mexican style is short for I don't really know how to box.
Exactly.
I'm move in and catch punches on my head and hoping I land a liver shot. That's the Mexican style. Fight. Try to land one hook to the liver.
Mm-hmm.
That's horrible boxing, man. And that's the reason why
Yep.
y'all have stayed getting retired. Mikey Garcia, what, retired? 32 years old,
Mm-hmm.
33 years old,
Mm-hmm.
man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Like, please miss me with the you know. I did hold Errol Spence accountable when I thought it when I saw a limited part of the fight, and I did say,
Yep.
you know what, it is what it is. Then when I watched the whole fight and watched the whole fight again and watched the
Mm-hmm.
whole fight again, then watched other fights of Terence Crawford, watched those fights and watched other fights of Errol Spence, I realized
Mm-hmm.
all these things can't happen at once, so that something's up.
Yep.
You can't go from a person who has good power at
Mm-hmm.
147 to a person who has heavyweight power at 147.
Yep.
If you hit that hard to do Spence that way, that means you should have knocked everybody else out in the first round.
Yeah.
You should have been smoking all them.
You
If
know
you hit
what,
that hard,
Asante? You know what, Asante? At the end, Spence did say some shit. You did slip and say some shit. He said, there was some shit that went on behind the scenes, but I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to make no excuses. But he slipped it in though. He did say that, and you gotta be smart enough to catch that. Here's the thing: we know why Spence threw the fight. Asante, you say it's for reasons you don't know. I'm gonna tell you the reason why he said that. He said this. Spence said, we know why he threw the fight. The reason why he threw the fight was money, man. And you know how you could tell? A week later, where the fuck was he? In Ibiza, Spain. Do you know how expensive a trip, just for us regular folks, do you know how expensive a trip is to leave your rabbit ass from where you at to go to Ibiza, Spain? Not only just go to Ibiza, Spain, you going to some of the craziest parts, some of these most expensive resorts, all this other shit. We know what Spence and Crawford was all about, man. It was all about money. When you make 25 million up front and then you get 35 on the back end, you walk away with 60 million for the fight. Y'all do the math. The second fight, both these guys are gonna walk away with 120 each. The third fight, these motherfuckers will probably walk away with close to 200 million. But we know what it's for, folks. Money. That's why Errol Spence threw the fight. Because of generational wealth. The money that these guys are gonna make are gonna take care of their fifth to sixth to seventh fucking generation. And let me tell you why they had Earl lose. I believe this. And Ross is probably going to be like, damn, you know what he knows? We might have to start talking about this. The reason why I call Errol Spence Kobe Bryant, and I'm going to tell you the real reason why I said that, Ross. The reason why Errol Spence is Kobe is because he has Kobe's polarization. They didn't want Kobe to be on the level of Mike, so they put Kobe in positions for Kobe to lose. Mm-hmm. And when Kobe lost, they were able to give justification to say, you see, he's close, but he's not on that level. When we know damn well he's every bit on that level. Mm-hmm. Well, they didn't want Earl to have the same Floyd Mayweather dichotomy, so they built in a reason for him to lose. Because you got to understand, look at the fans. Look how much they hated Earl. Look how much they were diametrically opposed to Earl. Every time you talk about Errol Spence, they give you weird names, Earl sexuals. Oh, fuck you, Errol Spence fans, man. Y'all too. People hated the fact that we was talking about Earl the way we was talking about Earl. Mm-hmm. They hated that shit. They hated that shit with a passion. They would hate us.
Don't let them motivate.
So they wanted to see Earl humiliated so that they could have something to be like, you see, Errol Spence this, Earl Spence that. But when it came to Canelo Alvarez and his beatdown, Floyd gave him a PhD ass whooping. Dimitri Bivol, which is still fresh in my mind, beat this guy so bad that he wanted the WWE fight him. Why aren't people talking about that?
Yep. Here's the thing. Every time somebody throws a fight or signs to throw a fight, don't necessarily know. It don't necessarily mean that they're in on it all the way. They might know it's going to happen. It don't necessarily mean that they put it this way. If you're deemed to be someone who's too realistic to be able to lie and act, then they'll put you in a situation to where you just have an unfair advantage to where you can't win.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Think about it. Every time somebody signs a 3-fight deal in the beginning for the first fight is done, you always see some weirdo shit.
Yep.
Signing that 3-fight deal is basically saying you gonna throw a fight. How is the shit gonna happen?
Yep.
How it happens depends. You might have to fight at a catch weight. You ain't gonna be able to make the weight. Nigga gloves might be loaded and shit. Your camp all of a sudden don't find out that this dude loaded his gloves.
Mm-hmm.
Right? All of a sudden, right before the fight, you feel drowsy and shit. You don't know why you feel drowsy.
Yep.
You just know it's gonna happen. Because everybody can't fucking act. But all because you signed up for some shit that's foul gonna happen to you, don't mean you're the one that you know exactly what is gonna happen. Just like they say, these niggas who in the industry who sign these deals, and when they look in the fine print of the deal, they realize they done signed really to be a Freemason and didn't even know it.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that Freemason shit come with what? Sacrifices, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't know when it's gonna happen. They don't necessarily kill their own sister, but they know that's a part of the deal. You know what I mean? Then when they try to get out of it, guess what? They get blackballed. You seen what happened to Deontay Wilder when he was speaking up? They act like he wasn't saying nothing. His nigga had proof.
Yep.
He had proof. Your hand is not made hard. Your hand alone, a bare-fisted punch, ain't made hard enough to put a dent in somebody's head.
Yep.
You'll break your hand first. This is the hardest part of your body. This, your cranium, the crown of the head, and your femur. Your femur part of your leg. Those are the hard. That's why if you break your femur, your leg will never be the same again, and it's the hardest bone to break outside of your fucking cranium. These are the hardest parts of your body, right, bro? You need a foreign object to put a dent in somebody's cranium.
Mm-hmm.
This is just physics, laws of physics. But when you fighting against the mainstream narrative, and you going against what you signed, next you know you're teetering on being out of boxing altogether.
Mm-hmm.
You're teetering on not being able to get fights all of a sudden. You notice nobody want to fight Deontay Wilder.
You're pissing them with the truth. That's why they're telling you don't talk about what you don't know about. Keep talking.
It gets to the point. It gets to the point when you're boxing that even if somebody don't want to fight you, they ain't got no choice because the business of boxing is going to make them fight you. But not in Deontay Wilder's case. They're not really trying to help him like that because he talked too much, basically. Because the truth don't matter. It's what the people believe.
Mm-hmm.
And when he signed that contract, he was supposed to do this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you something, Ross. D said for him to take a beating like that, I don't know if he was in on it. Let me tell you something, D. And this is going to shock you, but I'm going to say it because y'all know how I feel about Earl. But you know me. Just because I feel some way about somebody, I'm going to call a spade a spade. Earl was in on that shit. And I'm going to tell you why. Because Earl, in the final presser, alluded to the fact that he signed all of these damn things, these demands that Crawford wanted, and you could see how mad he was. It's like he was damn near distaste with himself. It's like damn near he was like
he's
ashamed of himself. Yeah, you could tell he was going through that whole conscious. You know how you go through that conscious battle with yourself when you know you did something that fundamentally you know you wouldn't fucking do.
Right.
That's why he vented the way he vented, because he knew he signed to do that shit, that compromise, and that's why he was mad on it. So Earl was in on that shit.
You know what's crazy?
Anybody tell me.
Motherfuckers are quick to say they don't trust Al Heyman. They don't trust Errol. They'll never say that about no white man.
Mm-hmm.
They'll never say that about Eddie Hearn. They'll never say that about Bob Arum.
Yep.
Like, bro, boxing always been this way.
Mm-hmm.
Boxing always been this way. We was kids, so we ain't know that. We ain't realize when Chavez was losing against who he was losing against? Meldrick Taylor, and then in the last second he landed 3 straight punches. They called a fight real quick. We didn't realize that was no miraculous comeback. They had just cheated.
Yep.
Because dude wasn't even hurt.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, at the end of the day, if you upset because you seen the rig fight, you still think sports is actually real like that? Man, get real. I'm a Chicago Bulls fan. But I'll tell you, in some cases, and when you look at some things, you could tell that if Michael Jordan didn't have the skill to get it done, it was going to get done regardless. Because look how it got done. Just look at what's the possibility, right? What's the possibility we win 6 finals?
Yep.
All is 6 in the game 6.
Yep.
Pippen's number is 3-3. That's 6.
Yep.
Michael Jordan's number is 23. 2 times 3 is 6.
Yep.
What's the possibility of all that shit lining up? The reason why it's so believable because Michael Jordan is really that fucking great.
Yep.
But the reason why it landed on those 6s because that's how it was supposed to happen.
Yep.
See what I'm saying? The reason why it's easier to see that sports is rigged now because the people aren't as great.
Mm-hmm.
They're not. LeBron James, he ain't as great, so they gotta do more, so much more to help him win. To make sure it's not obvious that it's rigged.
Yeah, because Jordan could do it off the skill. LeBron couldn't do it off skill.
Nah, he needed so much help to win these games.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So much help. Not just the refs. He needed so much talent to help him.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, if you think just Boston just got rigged with Al Heyman and you like, bro, the big fights, the super big fights, if it's a 3-fight deal, it's some shit to it.
Yep.
It's some shit to it. If it's a 3-fight deal before these guys even take one punch, it's some shit to it. Telling you right now. Be prepared to see some shit that you didn't think you was gonna see.
That's just like Canelo fighting Mel before Maul. That means Mel gonna get knocked the fuck out. I mean, you gotta do the math here. They're using Mel as a way to resurrect and resuscitate Canelo's struggling ass career right now.
Yep. Because the face of boxing, because Canelo's not good enough. Exactly. The face of boxing is supposed to be winning. How is it that Canelo only made $113 million all this year? When Floyd used to make $100 million a fight.
Yep.
Under Canelo's watch, boxing has failed.
Mm-hmm.
So now they got to give him a gimme fight.
Yep.
A fight that now because he's about to fight a dude coming up 2 weight classes. That's the rigging in itself. He's supposed to win this fight.
Yep. If
he's great, he's gonna win. But if he's mediocre, he might struggle in this fight, even though he's supposed to win. Canelo is like the LeBron James of basketball, to where everyone's telling you he's great. Well, you aren't really seeing great performances.
Yep.
You're just seeing numbers, and you're hearing about how great he is, but you're not seeing it. Think about it. LeBron James. You ever seen LeBron James have a performance where you was in awe?
Yep.
But you're like, man, I don't know how he did that.
Never.
Like it was skill wise, like bro, you see him run fast and jump high, but it's niggas down the street that can do that at the neighborhood YMCA.
Yep.
But you ever seen LeBron James have a game where you was like, man, I remember the day. I remember what I was wearing when I said, no, he ain't never had one of those games because he's not nice like that. Same thing with Canelo. That's why they got to set him up. They got to throw him softballs. They got to throw him slow pitch so he can hit the motherfucker.
Yep. Same thing with Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford not nice like that. How you barely beat up tomato cans? How you barely beat up guys with long layoffs? How you barely beat up Gamboa? How you barely beat up a one-legged Jose Benavidez? But all of a sudden, you it beat, Earl the way you beat him. It's rigged, man. Because they have to build up Terence Crawford. They have to make Terence Crawford seem more than what he is. What you guys have to understand, America understands the nostalgia of an American story, telling an American story. Terence Crawford is from an area that let's be honest, most of us would not move to no fucking Omaha, Nebraska, let alone be in that area. So he's from an area that people really don't too much care for like that. So at the end of the day, they got to build him up. They got to say this guy from this area that no one too much cares for, this area that no one is checking for like that. We need to make him a hero in that area. But you see, you have to understand the American story too. When they do what they call part one, part two, part three, just like when you watch a movie, think about it. Does the protagonist or the antagonist always wins when you do parts? No, there has to be in the parts where one person wins, then another person wins. What do I mean when I'm saying that? Case in point, Terence Crawford wins this time around, part one. Part two. You think Terence Crawford's going to win in part two if there's going to be a part three? No.
Yeah.
Part two, Errol Spence wins. Then now we give you the suspense for part three. And in the part three suspense, now it's going to be everybody's going to be clamoring for part three because everybody's going to be like, you know what? Terrence got the first, Earl got the second. So now both sides are going to be so gun-ho to see what? Part three.
Indeed.
They do it in movies. That's how you see movies are so successful. Like Rush Hour, right? They had a Rush Hour 1, they had a Rush Hour 2, they had a Rush Hour 3. Yeah. They did it with Bad Boy. Bad Boy 1, Bad Boy 2, Bad Boy 3. Every time they always left you with a cliffhanger at the end of the previous part. Why did they leave you with that cliffhanger? So that you can be enticed. It's like, you know how when you're craving food and your tongue is, salivating, you're like, I gotta eat. Well, that's what they do with the American story. They make your tongue salivate so that you could want to see the next thing. So see, this is why Lifeline Music's like, I can't wait for the rematch. Because guess what? You're salivating at how the next outcome is going to be. And they know this about the human psychology and they play on it.
Indeed. She said, I feel like Spence thought he could beat a juiced up Bud, but he was caught off guard with padded gloves and getting drunk. That could very well be true. None of us really know this speculation, but the problem is this. The fact that was going to happen at some point, he was caught off by that. He didn't know when. Okay, think about it. He signed a 3-fight deal.
Mm-hmm.
Before fighting, how is the trilogy going to happen if he comes out and he just smokes Bud? So whether he participates or not, he has to know that the shit's going to not be fair.
Exactly.
Then there was no data testing.
Yep.
They obviously didn't check the gloves because this nigga under investigation for gloves. And they still follow and didn't even make a fuss. They ain't even say we're going to be checking his gloves tightly because he under investigation. They ain't even bring that shit up. Since when do they not bring that shit up when they talking trash to each other? They saying everything, about who's fat, who's ugly, who white, little overweight, everything. But they don't say nothing about the gloves.
Spence was in on that shit because I've never seen Spence shake the hand of a fighter at a weigh-in. I've never seen that shit before in my life.
Yeah. They don't say nothing about the gloves at all. And they're talking all this trash. And he's currently under investigation for tampering with his gloves. They don't say nothing about him working with Victor Conte. And Victor Conte is known for PD uses. All the trash they saying, and they're not saying shit that really matters.
Yep.
Because they can't say it. Because that is gonna influence the fight. And if it comes out that they influence the fight, you know how much money they got to give back to people betting on that fight.
Mm-hmm.
So that's those type of things got to be.
You got to be shut up.
So at some point, he might not have been purposely moving around like this, but at some point he knew the shit was coming. Cause how the fucking trilogy gonna come? We all know Errol Spence was to walk through, Bud.
Yep.
Everybody else been walking through, Bud. Bud be winning on lucky punches. Most of the time, he be going at it with niggas and he'll land something wild and then they'll be hurt. We usually ever see Bud just come out and everything he hit a nigga, they just dazed and fucked up.
Yep.
Them loaded gloves
when has Bud ever been dynamic like that? I question that shit, man. I don't believe what I saw. And here's the thing. The reason why I question what I saw, simple as this. I've never seen Earl at a weigh-in shake another fighter's hand and be like, man, I appreciate the opportunity. Man, Spence at the weigh-in is ready to kill you before the fight even happens. That handshaking tells y'all everything y'all need to know. They both was like handshaking the fact that we about to get this money. We got to get paid. See, I see right through the bullshit, man. I know y'all don't want to accept this, but I'm see right through the bullshit. And the more and more Ross keeps going back and watching that fight, and the more and more time develops, the more and more you guys are gonna understand why this was all set up the way it was set up. And then Floyd is a guy who doesn't hold his tongue for shit. Even Floyd held his tongue. Because Floyd would have been like, hold up. Me and Earl had the sparring match of our lives, and then Terence just came in and did that to him. I know the real Floyd would have said that. But he held his fucking tongue too. So that tells y'all everything y'all need to know, man. Every motherfucker's in on this shit. Because at the end of the day, money has to be made.
Because think about
money has to be made.
What happened is they chose the wrong person to be the face of boxing in Floyd Mayweather's interim. And he hasn't been doing what he needed to do. They should have chose Spence outright. They should have chose Tank Davis outright. Or they should have chose Deontay Wilder outright. They chose him. They thought it was going to be better because he got a whole country behind him, but they don't support him because he ain't fighting nobody. So now, since boxing is taking a hit, since this dude's been the face of boxing, guess what? Now they got to do something that's gonna bring in the people. Now they got certain people that you think are supposed to win all of a sudden losing and shit. You know what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden, and they keep trying to go to the tried and true, the great white hype. But guess what? Yeah. Just like porn, nobody want to see people fucking porno. Just like when you got a fine black woman and a fine white woman standing next to each other, everybody look at the fine black woman. Nobody want to see white men dominate nothing, man, because they know it's not believable. That's the reason why it's not working. Tyson, they put Tyson Fury at the top of the heavyweight division.
Keep talking. I'm gonna wash my hands, bro.
And he had a spark for a little bit, and it died down because nobody really believed that shit. Because at the end of the day, nobody want to see them dominating, and they don't want to see a black man dominating. So boxing is in a flux right now. That's the reason why a lot of white people they go watch MMA because the majority of people who fight MMA are white people. They don't want to see a black man dominating, and they only interested in boxing when a black man takes a loss. Not just any black man, when a unapologetic black man takes a loss. That's the only time white men are interested in boxing. The only time. That's the only time, right? So you're gonna see more of this. Don't be surprised if you see Tank Davis go through this. Don't be surprised if it's all gonna be PBC fighters though. Don't be surprised if you see Jamel Charlo. He supposed to lose against Canelo, so I can't say Jamel Charlo. But y'all get the picture, man. There's gonna be more of this to come down the pipeline because they're trying to get the fan base back. They're trying to get the fan base back. But the reason why you got a lot of big Tyrone 720s is just this generation. There's not this generation. They suffered real bad from not having men around. They really had the mindset of a women. Like if you ever watch an Adin Ross stream, the black dudes he have on there, he able to do whatever he wants to them. And talk to them wherever he wants to. Ask them, you know what I mean? They send him penis pics and whatever. They do whatever. They do whatever for money. They have no principles. You know what I'm saying? That's why when Charleston White got on there and said what he said, it was like, and treated him the way he treated him, he was surprised because the younger black crowd don't do that. They act like slaves when they go in. They act feminine. He's able to talk to them about oral sex and going down on men and being hit in the butt and all that. But you can't talk to no grown man like that. But this younger generation, they think that's cool. They think it's trendy. It's trendy to say they bisexual or to do bisexual things. You know what I mean? It's trendy. But that's the type of aura that's put on them. That's the type of tone that was set. You know what I mean? Think about it. You never had a haircut in your life. Your mom do your hair. She puts your hair on the top of your head like a girl. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these women really wish they had daughters, and they treat their sons like daughters. So you already got that super feminine like tonation about you already off the jump. The white man peeped that. He peeped you ain't no full black man. So he'll give you 10 bands to come on there and make fun of you, 10 bands to talk to you like you gay, you know what I mean, to show you his penis and to play with your masculinity. But when he got Charleston White on there and got checked, he looked like he wanted to cry. You know what I'm saying? AI Alexander says Spence was smirking at moments he normally takes serious. Gotta understand, man. How else is going to be a 3-fight deal? Somebody who's not expected to lose got to lose. Cool JC 26. So Spence could have won the first fight. Then Bud wins. Now Spence can't win the first because when Spence win, you can't even fight the same no more. Most people who Spence beat retire. So Spence couldn't win the first fight. Because when Spence win, Bud gonna retire. Or he gonna be a shell on himself after that. So Spence can't win the first fight. And everybody was expecting Spence to win. So it's more of a shock if Spence win first. Exactly. People, it's easy to see once you start seeing how they normally look before fights. You look at Spence, Spence does not look right. Like, not physically, he didn't look right in his eyes. Like, he didn't look like he should have fought that day. And anybody who's ignoring that he didn't look the same, they have no integrity, man. Exactly. But that's expected. Anybody I feel like that's under 30, they fight with that integrity. I ain't gonna say they don't have integrity, but I'm quite sure that's one of their big fights. Is having integrity. You know what I mean? What's like sticking to what's right, even if it don't benefit them.
Salute to Most High for the $10 Cash App and Lifeline for the $6 Cash App. Appreciate y'all.
Salute, man. Most people will come on here and they'll never donate to the platform ever.
Yep.
They'll say, "Hey, you guys need to go live. Y'all not dropping videos. Where the community posts," but they'll never donate.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Donate.
These things allow people to do that because if they don't have to work and do other things, they have more time to do what you want them to do. But you can't have it both ways. You can't not donate, and then demand certain things happen and shit. Like,
yeah. And somebody said, "Dude, you doing a live while you're eating? Really, bro? Yeah, I could do that because in this live we fire like that. We could do that. We don't do it all the time. This is not a live where, and people could attest to that." Where we're constantly eating, but I was hungry, and hopefully if other people are eating a meal too and they feel inclined to eat, yeah, go ahead and eat in the background. But guess what, you still watch the live, right? So we appreciate that. We fire over here, so we can get away with the average Joe can't get away with. I just wanted to say that real quick.
Yeah, man. So, and that's the reason why when we was putting this together, we decided to combine both topics because they both intertwine. Because this is a generation thing. The reason why a lot of people sit back and they don't question shit, because that's how they was raised.
Yep.
They was raised not to question the goddamn thing. If everybody believe it, if it's on TMZ, it's the facts. If it's viral, whatever narrative that's viral is true.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. That's what happens when you don't get taught to be inquisitive. You don't get taught context clues, and you don't get taught to be curious and have curiosity about things. You know what I'm saying? Anybody with a principle and curiosity be like, hold on. When does this dude get this type of power? They wouldn't think, man, this looks funny, but if I say this, they're gonna make fun of me because everybody else think this is real. You don't even think like that. Once you start saying shit, you say it because it's all about what's right.
Yep.
Once I seen a couple of angles of Crawford's glove, and the glove was like defective, I paused the fight and said, "Hold on, dude, gloves don't even look right.
Yep.
Gloves can't do that."
Yep.
But when you care about what everybody's gonna think, it's kind of like peer pressure, so to speak. Um, I knew people who were scared to be smart in school. They were raised to be cowards. They were so
Yep.
afraid to be smart because they didn't want people to make fun of them.
Yep.
I knew niggas who knew the answer to the question and wouldn't say shit. Because the
Yep.
majority of the people didn't know the answer to the question and they didn't want to be made fun of.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is on a bigger scale. It's peer pressure to dumb yourself down. You see something everybody else don't see, but because everybody else don't see it and you're afraid what they're gonna say, you act like you don't see it either.
Yep. And I'm gonna say this: there's no personal trainer that would spare Errol Spence from the steroid beatdown that he got, from the cocktail super soldier serum that he got beat down with, and with the loaded and the padded gloves
Right.
that he got beat down with. So Earl doesn't need a particular strength and conditioning coach because there's no strength and conditioning coach that was going to prepare him for getting beat up by a guy that was on steroid use. There's no personal trainer, strength and conditioning coach that was going to prepare him for a guy who had loaded and padded gloves. The damage was still going to be the same. So when people repeat LDBC nonsense and say Earl needs this person or Earl needs that person, Earl didn't need that person against Ugas, didn't need that person against Danny Garcia. So why all of a sudden he needs that person against Terence Crawford when we know Terence Crawford was enhanced?
Right.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
Well, when they say that, it's because they're still trying to hold on to the fact that the fight was legit.
Exactly. And it's
By
not.
them holding on to the fact that's legit, they had to then rationalize in their mind, okay, if the fight's legit, then why did it look that way? Oh, he didn't have Blu-ray. But common sense will tell you if I have a cast on my hand because I broke my hand and I hit you with that cast, common sense is gonna tell you that hit is gonna be way harder than if I hit you with my fist.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing you can train for to make you take that hit any kind of better. Because it's a
Yeah,
foreign
exactly.
hit. I watched a lot of Gennady Golovkin fights over and over, and I believe his gloves were loaded too.
Yeah.
Because when he would hit people, it wasn't
Yeah.
the normal reaction somebody when they get hit with a good punch.
Mm-hmm.
When they get hit with a good punch, the normal reaction is really it's kind of like they body shut down a little bit and they just be like froze. Because when you get hit with a sharp punch, the signals between your brain and everything else, it's like it kind of like snaps off for a minute. When somebody get
Exactly.
hit with something foreign, it's kind of like they like, what the fuck? It's kind of like they're like, what was that? Like a
Yeah.
response. You know what I'm saying? Like what
Yep.
the fuck? Like because they get hit in the head all the time. So they're not surprised by a hard punch. It just
Mm-hmm.
shuts their body down momentarily. But they're not
Yep.
surprised. They're not looking around like what was that they got hit with? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And that's when you
And
know
I
it's
like
like
what Cash Crypto. I like what Cash Crypto just said. He said EJ don't need that strength and conditioning coach. He just needs a level playing field. He's absolutely right about that. And here's the thing: EJ did not have that strength and conditioning coach for Danny Garcia. You need to go research it. He had a different. He had actually a team of strength and conditioning where there was a nutritionist involved. The strength and conditioning coach was a white dude that trained a lot of other people in MMA and shit like that. So he did not have him. And then he had another strength and conditioning coach for this fight against Terence Crawford, but he had that same previous dude for Danny Garcia and your Dennis Ugas. So it's not about Spence needing a particular strength and conditioning coach. Because I just don't want to repeat dude's name because it's just not that name has not been prevalent for years now. So I don't even know why that name is still existing in you guys' mouth. You guys need to see the fact that this fight right here was not a level playing field. There was a lot of nuances that happened in the fight. Since when does an A side give their ability to walk last? Since when does the A side ever give any advantages that they have? By Terence Crawford walking last, that kind of was low key a indicator of how the fight was going to go down. It was kind of telling you the foretelling of events, of how the fight was going to play out.
You know what's crazy? I'm thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
What if that shit, that coin flip, was for more than just who gonna walk out first? What if that coin flip was who gonna lose first?
Yep. Could have been that too.
Because think about
it. And you know what? We should address that.
Because think about it. Who does that? You never seen that. In all your time of watching boxing, you never seen that before.
There's never been no coin flip on who walks last and who's this. Everything's established. And you know who wanted all of that to be on his list? Because it's been known and it's documented. Terence Crawford. A cheater is always going to use every single thing. A cheater is always going to use everything possible to give himself an added advantage and an added situation for him to be able to stand out. This reeks of what Canelo would do. This reeks with what a LeBron James would do, and it reeks with what a Terence Crawford would do.
You know what's crazy? Mm-hmm. Whenever we start laying out all the facts that something was wrong with the fight, then people start trying to come out and say the obvious shit.
Yep.
When the fight first happened, nobody was saying that Bud only won because Errol Spence was dehydrated.
Yep.
Now that niggas laying out shit that didn't look right, now y'all can say the obvious shit that could have been the truth. But y'all wasn't saying that after the fight. Now you want to distract from the fact that this shit was rigged for some shit that now explain why Bud won. Exactly. If that shit true now, that means it was true then. That means Bud still didn't fight Errol Spence at his best.
Exactly.
And if he ain't fight him at his best, then why everybody doing all the celebration for? Because y'all don't give a fuck if he won at his best, as long as he wins. Because you're not really men out there. Boys don't care how they win. Boys play the game on easy and go to school and brag and shit that they won the championship. Men don't do that. Men play in the Hall of Fame.
Let's be honest. Earl was supposed to fight at 154 after the Danny Garcia fight. You know why? Because Danny Garcia moved up to 154 after that fucking fight. Mm-hmm. That's when Earl really should have been at 154. Like he outgrew 147, but he still fought Dennis Ugas because he's a consummate professional, and he still fought Terence Crawford because he's a consummate professional. But the facts are, Terence Crawford had a laundry list of shit. That's why I want to see what the list is, because Ross might be right about the coin toss. There might be something in the coin toss that is very specific. Because if you notice, those guys, they always harp on the contract. Even Terence Crawford, when they asked Terence Crawford, who else are you going to fight? And that's why I don't even know why they're doing all this hoopla news where they're saying Terence Crawford. And this is how you can tell boxing fans are really stupid as fuck. They talking about all these other narratives, because this is the thing. They don't have enough juice to stay on the topic at hand. They're not creative enough to stay on what's in front of them. So they talk entertaining Tank versus Terence Crawford. That's a fight that's never gonna happen. So why are y'all even entertaining that shit in your brains? Then you entertaining Jaron Ennis. Jaron Ennis, I'm gonna be very frank and I'm gonna tell y'all this shit. Jaron Ennis is going to have to fight his generation. This generation of fighters are not going to fight him. That shit is not happening. Mm-hmm. Jaron Ennis needs to get that in his head. His team needs to get that in his head. Focus on dominating your generation. As a matter of fact, Connor Ben just called you out right now and said, why are you focusing on Errol Spence and Terence Crawford when I could be beating on your ass right now? He needs to focus on his generation, man. Because at the end of the day, these guys are not going to fight him. But here's the thing. You have a bunch of content creators that lack creativity. So because they can't keep talking on Spence and Crawford, they got to go talk on other bullshit that makes absolutely no sense. If you have a brain and you can think critically and effectively, you know the very next fight is going to be Spence versus Crawford 2. That's the very next fight.
Right.
So why are people going, like, doing all this shit in their brains, making it seem like it's deeper than that? That's the next fight. Even Terence Crawford told you that. The next fight that I'm going to fight is Errol Spence has a rematch clause. Once he activates it, I have to. It's not whether I choose to. I don't fight him. I have to honor that because it's in the contract. And yes, motherfucker, you are gonna honor it because guess what? You said something that was truthful, Terence Crawford. You said Errol Spence gave you the opportunity. That's right. That's what he did. The only truthful thing that came out of your cheating ass mouth. Earl gave you the opportunity, so you have no choice but to fight a rematch later this year. And when you got guys like Steven Espinoza coming out telling you, man, Earl, the level of beating that Earl took, the fight might end up happening later this year or early next year. That's Steven Espinoza selling the fucking fight, man. These guys know exactly what the fuck they doing. And y'all falling for the tea. Y'all falling for the bullshit. And it's making me laugh because I'm sitting here scratching my brain like, how are you guys falling for this nonsense? And you guys can't see right through the foolery.
Mm-hmm. Hey, man, we need everybody to hit the like button, man, that's in here. And donate to the platform, man.
Yes, donate to motivate.
But I know exactly why a lot of people don't see it. Because they took context clues and shit. They took that shit out. They took that shit out of the fucking school system. And they took critical thinking out.
Yep.
I remember they used to write a whole paragraph and take words out. And based on context clues, you should still be able to know what the paragraph say. Now, if you write a sentence and you misspell one word, motherfuckers they don't understand the whole sentence because they wasn't raised to figure out anything. If it's not spelled out for them, they believe the narrative.
Yep.
They don't think for themselves at all. That's why these motherfuckers keep making the same mistakes over and over and keep going to Facebook complaining about the same shit over and over. Every year you see the same chicks talking about niggas ain't shit on your Facebook.
Yep.
It's your choice. It's your mental lapse in choosing men that ain't shit.
Mm-hmm.
Why you keep choosing the same niggas? What are you doing?
Exactly.
Because every man you choose, just by the numbers, you're supposed to accidentally choose a good man or accident. What are you doing to attract these type of niggas, and why you steady choosing them?
Yep.
You went to school and got a fucking master's degree, and you can't choose a man.
Yep.
What's good is that fucking degree if you can't make basic decisions in your life?
Yep.
People who got college degrees don't impress me, man. Some of the dumbest motherfuckers I ever met have been college educated.
Yep.
You got all these degrees. You're the most educated. They say you're the most educated person in the United States is a sister. But y'all steady making the dumbest fucking decisions in y'all life. So how educated are y'all, right? Guess who they raised? They raised niggas like Big Tyrone.
Mm-hmm.
They raised niggas who go on Adin Ross and let this white boy say whatever you want to say to them for 10 bands. Their penis size, ask them if they want to have sex with trannies and just violate them. That's the type of niggas they raise.
Yep.
Horrible choices, man. So there's a whole generation of niggas who can't see through this, who can't see through nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole generation of niggas who really believe this Trump shit, who really believe Joe Biden better than Trump.
Yep.
But they don't see that no matter who in office, they will never do shit for niggas. So you might as well have to do that in the office that's at least honest about how he feel. But guess another thing that happens with a generation that don't have no masculinity. Niggas who tell the truth hurt their feelings.
Facts.
They want white people to rub their back, knowing white people don't like them. But they want the illusion.
Yep.
They want the illusion that we all get along and that they accept it. At work, they want their boss to kiss their ass. Why? You should be happy that he treats you the way he treats you so you can know what it is.
Yep.
You want him to rub your back and kiss your ass and then fuck you behind closed doors where you can't understand what's going on? Nah, you always should want your enemies to be honest. But we ain't warriors no more. We don't think we don't have a military mindset no more. We want everybody to get along with us. Everybody to tell us how, man, how strong you are to be a black man and blah blah blah. Blah. All these niggas making these YouTube channels where they ask white women who they like most.
Mm-hmm.
Some women don't like you as no man. They want to have sex with you. They don't even
Exactly.
respect black people.
Yep.
Niggas be
They
so
see it as
hyped
a
to see those
bull.
videos. Niggas be so hyped to see those videos, not understanding what that's like when a white dude got a fetish for a black girl. He don't really love these men. Don't white dudes don't really love black women. They be beating the hell out of
Mm-hmm.
black women, be killing them and all type of shit. It's all for them to get them pregnant because they can't, for some reason, they can't procreate together.
Yep.
They just want us to get them pregnant.
Yep.
So they can keep. They think they're gonna keep going.
Yep.
That's it. They just want to get your women pregnant. They don't love black women because they love black people like they say they do. They will change the society and they will show it.
Yep.
But we so weak. We just want people to act like they love us, man.
And we're so weak. We see fake shit in front of us and we accept it.
And we accept it. We accept it. You know what I'm saying? And they was going at it, and the Spence was going to the body, and then Crawford caught him with something nasty.
Mm-hmm.
That would be something different. But this from round one, a smokish of Errol Spence. You gotta really still believe in WWE to believe that shit.
Exactly.
This ain't Rocky movie, man. This is real life. That don't happen.
Yep.
That don't happen to us. A lot of things. It's called the Swiss cheese effect, man. It says a lot of small things gotta line up for a big catastrophe.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So whenever you see, like, you be seeing those ships hit the docks,
Yeah,
where they posted more up at, that's because it wasn't just somebody momentarily losing sight what they're supposed to do. I'm quite sure that whole week of planning, something was wrong.
exactly.
And people was not doing their jobs up until that big catastrophe happened, and it could have been happening for months, weeks, where corners were being cut. The next thing you know, they smack into a fucking pier. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Or two ships collide out to sea. When all you gotta do is when you see another ship coming, you just point towards where they're coming from. You'll never hit them.
Yep.
So they're going 90 degrees. You just point toward the ass end of their ship, and as you get, by the time you get to the ass end of their ship, they're gone already. Because that's how the degree of separation works.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So for two ships to hit each other, that's never supposed to happen with all that space in the ocean. But it happens when with so many small things are missed, right? Same thing with this. So many small things happen that led up to this. That just don't happen, man. Y'all think Terence Crawford got that good in the last year? He got that powerful? He got that good to where he's just that much better than Errol Spence? Come on, man.
Like Cash Crypto said, Bud was juice and had loaded gloves. At the same time, EJ was not at his best. Bud really should have stopped EJ on the 6 rounds with all of the cheating he did. Yeah. But that goes to show you how Terence Crawford is overrated again, because even with all the enhancements, he still couldn't get the job done the way he was supposed to. So that shows you his power wasn't what it was, even with him having the enhancements. So imagine without the enhancements. Because all of his fights, when Terence Crawford stops somebody, it's usually like late, very late. Or he'll go to the distance and he'll outbox the person. I just can't believe the previous opponents that he fought were nowhere near the level of Errol Spence. But then when he faces Errol Spence, he's able to do the most fire stuff under the most fire circumstances. And we don't question shit. And I don't even trust Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson's the one doing the coin toss. That means he was in on it. Remember, Mike Tyson was the one that Errol Spence G-checked not too long ago. But coincidentally, he's the one doing the coin toss. Everything about the fight is shady.
Yeah, think about it. What the fuck did Mike Tyson have to do with that fight?
Exactly.
This is an undisputed welterweight fight.
Yes.
Where was Tommy Hearns?
Yes.
Where was Sugar Ray Leonard? Where was, you know what I'm saying? Niggas who've been in, you know what I'm saying? Who've been in undisputed fights. Where were they at? Why the fuck was it him?
Yeah, Floyd could have been the one doing the coin toss. Why is he the one fucking doing it? Yeah.
Why
That's I said
wasn't
it's
Mike
shady,
Tyson?
man.
Somebody who has been called out for many times towards the end of his career for throwing fights.
Yep.
Why wasn't him? Think about it, man. I'm one of the big people during the fight. The part that I did see, I'm one of the big people who say, you know what? Sticking my chin up. It is what it is. Terence Crawford won. But after watching that whole fight from beginning to end, over and over and over again, I seen too much shit to say that I was legit.
Yep.
I seen too much shit to say it's legit.
Yep.
Rachel Richardson. Well, the thing about it is this: the fact that it wasn't a fair fight, you don't need. You got to watch. If you watch the fight, it wasn't a fair fight.
Yep.
All I can say is this: the proof is the actual fight.
Yep.
If you've been watching Errol Spence's career, you've been watching Terence Crawford's career.
Yep.
If you've been watching their power, you've been watching how they look before fights, how their normal look. If you know everything about these two fighters, if you know everything about the history leading up to the fight, then the actual fight is the proof. If you can't look at that fight and tell, that's because you don't know proof really. That's a deflection. You don't really want no proof. Because
you just want to accept what you saw.
Yeah, right. You're purposely ignoring shit at that point. If you're ignoring the fact that Terence Crawford is currently under investigation for loading his gloves before he fought Errol Spence,
proof one,
and then he looks super powerful against Errol Spence. If you're ignoring that, you just don't want to know the truth.
If you ignore the fact that he's working with Victor Conte, proof two. I mean, what proof do you need? The proof is in the pudding. The fact that he's working with Daniel Kinahan, an Irish mobster that also worked with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, proof three. The fact that Terence Crawford actively has a lawsuit out in his previous fight against David Avocado for tampering with gloves, proof four. I mean, Rachel Richardson, all you got to do is Google and you'll get all the proof you need. And Terence Crawford's been working with this dude since September 2021. So when you say, where's the proof? Just Google it.
The hard thing for our generation to do is to, it used to be we automatically second guess everything the news said as black people. Anything that was status quo, anything that the media was saying, the news was saying, we automatically looked at it with inquisitively, because we knew when it comes to us, they lie all the time. But now it's the opposite. Now we automatically believe what everybody say, and then we need a nigga like Kanye to come out and expose something and to damn near risk his life. We need, like, you know what I mean? Like we already need a savior for shit we can find ourselves.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that just not knock you. I'm saying I'm making this a big picture thing now because this is a learning moment.
It's just a moment to just break the naivety and to break the lack of knowledge and just to enlighten yourself and to go out there and do the research yourself. And you want a fifth proof? Anyone that's on roids, they rage out. Here's a proof for you, Rachel Richardson. Go and look at the final presser and go look at Terence Crawford roid raging against people in the audience. Why is he raging like that? What did the person say to him that was so vitriol to the level to where he had to just rage out like that? Right. You know what that's called? When people are on performance enhancement drug and they are enhanced, they have roid rage. That's why they call it steroids rage. They rage out. So what you were seeing from Terence Crawford, he was raging. Even Derek James was looking at Terence Crawford like, yo, chill. You're doing way too much, because he was raging. Even Earl had to get in there and be like, you done? You done? Because he was raging. That's roid rage. So you can go look at everything. Go look at all of the nuances of the fight, and you'll see everything is off. Nothing about it is right. Nothing.
Nothing at all. Nothing. That's another thing. That's another thing, man. Add 1050. It's typically, if you win the fight of your life, wouldn't you be more excited than that?
Exactly.
And if you lose the fight of your life, wouldn't you be more down?
Yep.
Like, wouldn't you? Why is it that these niggas is honor that shit? Like, like you would think Crawford would have been like I told you, da da da, nigga, blah blah blah, da da da, and would have been even saying stuff to Errol's face, like, nigga, you could never. You saw how Joe Frazier was when he beat Muhammad Ali.
Mm-hmm.
He finally needed to get that off. Why wasn't none of that? How come Errol didn't look down like Muhammad Ali looked down? Like, man, I've been talking all this time and I lost.
They ain't on it, man.
It's like they already knew what was going to happen.
Rachel Richardson, here's the proof. Errol Spence supposedly had the most devastating loss of his career. But the next week, when have you known a fighter to have a loss of that magnitude? The next week, get on the plane with his girl and go to Ibiza, Spain and party like shit ain't fucking happened. Please explain that to me. If that doesn't give you red flags, then I don't know what red flags are. Because in boxing, when a fighter is known to be undefeated and then they lose like that and they really, really lost, they don't want nobody around them. They don't even want their woman around them until they get back. Mm-hmm. Everything is all about just focusing and locking in. That right there should question you. And then here's the other thing, Rachel Richardson. I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help you get to a point where you're gonna start seeing it for yourself. Why is Errol Spence, when they show pictures of him the whole next week, where is his lumps on his fucking face? Why does nigga look like he looked the way he did before the fight? That wasn't questionable to you? You didn't sit there and say to yourself, damn, this dude is on the plane and he looks like he did before the fight. All of a sudden, he's Earl Wolverine Spence. Come on. Like, y'all gotta start like not letting people coach y'all with the bullshit that they're coaching you with, and you gotta see it for yourself. Yes, Earl is in on it too. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I've been saying this from the jump. Yeah, and the reason why I know this is because in the final presser, Earl was mad that he said, damn, man, I had to sign all of this shit. I had to give this dude all of these demands. Earl gave Terence Crawford all these. You know what I want to see, Rachel Richardson? I've been saying this from live after live after live. Me and Ross been saying it. We want to see that damn list of demands. I guarantee you, if we see the list of demands, we'll see all of the clownery and the foolery that happened for this fight. I guarantee that. Since when have you ever seen in a boxing match a coin toss? A coin toss ever happened? Right. Since when have you ever seen in a boxing match a guy turn around and basically say, hey, in order for us to fight, you got to be able to do all of these different things for us to be able to fight. And the other guy has to agree when the other guy's in the lion's share position. We've never seen in boxing an A side ever acquiesce to a B side in terms of demands on that degree. Do they concede to certain things? Yes. But every fucking thing? No.
Not everything.
Even Al Heyman, Al Heyman told Errol Spence, why are you giving this guy all of this stuff? You don't even have to give it to him. Just don't fight him. But Earl wanted it to happen. So yes, he's in on it.
Yep.
That's his bottom line. He's in on it. So I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm gonna get on Terence Crawford and say when I'm not gonna get on the other side. When you see something monkey business like this happen, everybody had to be involved in order for the monkey business to happen. Right. The Derrick James at the end of the fight, he showed you Terence Crawford's gloves was loaded. When he touched that motherfucking gloves, his eyes went like this, and Terence Crawford moved that motherfucker so fast. I did a shorts on it. And then Terence Crawford hold his gloves on the whole time he's in the ring, and he gets it taken off in the back. The first thing fighters do when they in the fight, they are so annoyed that the gloves is in their hands. They're like, take this shit off. Yep. I've watched boxing matches enough to know that. They like, take this shit off. I don't want these gloves on. This motherfucker held his gloves on. Everything about this fight reeks and smells.
People understand. Like they be having those gloves on over an hour and a half because the fight's 38 minutes.
Yep.
The fight's 36 minutes. And then they be having the gloves on 30, 40 minutes before the fight.
Yep.
in the back, hitting pads and shit. First thing
Yep.
you want to do is take that. People understand how sweaty and nasty it is in box of those.
Yep.
First thing you want to do is get them off.
Yep. Earl got his shit off quick, but Bug had his on. Come on. And then here's the other thing too, Rachel Richardson. I want you to see this. Bud wrapped his own gloves. And you know what? Bud hasn't always wrapped his own gloves. You know when that started? I want y'all to go do the homework on that. That shit started happening from the David Avocado fight when Bud decided that he wanted to start wrapping his own gloves. Why aren't people questioning that?
Right.
Because the person who used to wrap Bud's gloves used to be Bomac or one of the trainers. Now all of a sudden, he's wrapping his own shit. I wonder why. I mean, the fight, everything in this fight, every nuance in this fight is telling you something is murky, something is fishy, something is whether you want to accept it or not. To me, Earl didn't lose. What I saw is Earl just basically compromised. That's what I saw. Because I didn't see tactical aggression. I didn't see technical punch placement. I didn't see body snatching work. I didn't see the levying onslaught of the punishment style. I didn't see none of that. So to me, Earl wasn't Earl. So I can't accept this. I can't. I just can't accept it. And I'm not singling you out. I'm just saying I want you to look at all the nuances. And when you do Google, you'll find all of this relative information about Terence Crawford. And it's going to piece everything together. And then here's the biggest thing. Why would you have a known cheater in Victor Conte who's known for masking PEDs? Victor Conte has mastered the art of undetectable PEDs. Why do you even have somebody like that on your team? If that doesn't make you question Terence Crawford, I don't know what's going to make you question him. Why have somebody like that on your team? If you are all about being straightforward, if you're all about being upright, if you're all about playing everything to the T, why would you have somebody like that on your team? A guy who's already did jail time under Balco, a guy who pretty much got caught with biogenesis down in Miami. I'm surprised they even maybe because LeBron James is just so big of an athlete, and the NBA just don't want to sacrifice LeBron just yet. I'm surprised they haven't even caught him yet, but he's linked to biogenesis. Biogenesis is a lab that Victor Conte made down there for guys like him, Jameer Nelson, Rashard Lewis. The list goes on and on about NBA players that went through that shit. This is the guy, Victor Conte. He gets caught twice. And then he goes and he says, oh, you know what? Let me smarten up the game. Let me go get a pharmacy degree. He ends up getting a pharmacy degree, and now he's a pharmacist. And you know, pharmacists, you can't come after them because guess what? With their degree, their certifications, they have the ability to legalize drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And what people don't understand is there's a reason why they call it performance enhancement drugs, because it's a form of a drug. It's a form of a supplement. So they're legalizing this stuff. Now, with his ability, he done went into the lab, he done did the chemistry and realized, you know what? I could make this shit undetectable. I could make it to levels to where even when you get tested, they can't pop dirty. And so when Terence Crawford comes in the weigh-in, and for the first time in his boxing career has a fucking turtleback. When I saw that shit, I said, okay, something ain't right with this shit, bro. This nigga this nigga ain't never had no damn turtleback. What the fuck? He usually got lean boxing muscles. I'm not used to that shit. That shit made me say, okay, damn, whatever he's taking, that's just some good ass shit. Because the only thing with Terence Crawford is Terence Crawford look old in the face because, you know, he just looks older than his age. But if you look at his body looked properly hydrated. Mm-hmm. And the reason why it looked properly hydrated is because he had that proper cocktail. Spence had that dehydration and he had that what they call that? Weight draining and all of that. The reason why is because Spence did it the right way. There was no performance enhancement drug with him. He just outgrew the weight class. Whereas with Terence Crawford supposedly told you at the end of the fight, oh, I low-key outgrew 147. How the fuck you outgrew 147, but you didn't look weight drained at the weigh-in? Come on, folks. Y'all got to do the math here.
Gotta do the math.
Why would he say that? He told on himself. But Spence looked weight drained, but he didn't. But he supposedly outgrew the weight class. That's because that cocktail had him looking right, man. I mean, we just got to be honest here. We got to be honest.
Gotta be. But the thing about it is, until we start waking up out of the matrix as a people, and we don't understand that you supposed to automatically think something suspect at first until it's proven to be true, we're gonna always have this back and forth.
Yep.
There's gonna always be this, oh, y'all just talking conspiracy. Most people nowadays don't even know the definition of conspiracy. They don't even know that conspiracy doesn't mean something that's not true.
Yep.
Conspiracy don't mean something true or not true. It has nothing to do with what's true or not. Conspiracy means a group of people working together behind closed doors for a nefarious reason.
Mm-hmm.
That is an actual fact of life. There's conspiracies happening every day. You have conspiracies in families. Certain family members don't like one nigga, and they all conspire against them. You got conspiracy at work. You got people conspiring against you right now that you don't even know about.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Conspiracy is a matter of fact of life. Now, but they use one word. They use a connotation of a word that'll make you think. That'll make you not want to think. Whenever you see something that's fishy, they make you scared to say something because you don't want nobody to say, "Oh, you're a conspiracy theorist." Those words shouldn't even be next to each other. And that word didn't become famous until 9/11.
Woo, Ross. Hey, that's why. Ooh, that's why Big Tyrone. That's why Big Tyrone 720. And remember when we were saying Terence Crawford? We were saying Terence Crawford got a whole bunch of dudes that be checking out his meat pack. Ooh, the keggy man. I don't like to post
what you talking
this
about?
shit. Check this shit out, bro. You got to read this shit. I had to put this shit up. Ooh, now I understand Big Tyrone 720. Ooh, now I understand that. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for that. Thank you. Now it's all making sense because me and Ross been wondering what this whole ding-a-ling movement was all about. Why all of these Terence Crawford fanboy man crushers, all these Bud Man fans were so big on his meat pack. That makes sense. If that shit is true, that makes all the sense in the world. All the fucking sense in the world now. Because to have all of these guys be so sexualized over a boxer, that makes sense. Why? But I gotta read the fucking comment, bro. People,
but that type of energy, attracts
me is well known around town, and that you know why? You know why I could believe that? Because Bud always hanging around a bunch of niggas, so I can see that shit easy. People in Omaha have also told me it's well known around town that Bud is a homosexual. I don't care what he does in his private life, but I feel bad for his wife if true. Wow, hey, bro, you need to start. We on a live here, so if you know some shit, drop it down, man. Let us know so that we can know what's going on, because that explains a lot to us. Because we've had this guy, Big Tyrone 720, double down, triple down, quadruple down. I mean, he just came in today and he just said something about the parade, right? He just came from the parade, and I'm trying to wonder why this dude is so gun-ho for Bud. Now it's all coming to me now. It's because
that energy
Bud is in on this shit. Yeah.
That energy
and look at him and Sean Porter. I saw a video of them playing cards and shit like that. And all I see is nothing but niggas. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on with this? Now I understand when him and Sean Porter said my buddy and me.
Hold on, there is times where men get together and there ain't no women around. Niggas shoot dice.
No, I know that. I know that.
That don't mean they're gay. But
I know that shit. But I'm talking about with Bud. I'm specifying this shit with Bud. There ain't no bitches around him, all like literally like damn near 90-something% of the damn times. And on top of that, Bud be doing these little games. You know how niggas be doing these games where niggas always be touchy-feely with each other? Yeah. I ain't talking about games that me and you do. We don't play those games. I'm talking about the games Bud and them do where they always touchy-feely and shit.
Like the shit they was trying to pull with Charleston White on the Adin Ross show. They was
Yep.
trying to get on that with him, and he's like, hold on, man, quit talking about my penis. Like, nah,
Yep.
I'm not interested in the trend in the alternative lifestyle guy.
Yep.
Why are we talking about this? Yeah. That's the energy.
Yep.
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 That's right.
I'm glad Ox said that. Instead of Bud being front and center with his wife, he rolled down the street with a man's arm wrapped around him, women in the back. That's questionable, man. That's suspect. Because if I have a lady, my lady should be front row with me in my victory. Right. Should be my lady and my kids. I shouldn't be having no dudes next to me. What the fuck I want a dude next to me for? Like my homeboys could be next to me, you know, when we celebrating the fight, right? Post fight and all of that. That's different. But more times than not, it should be my lady and it should be me. Mm-hmm. But yeah, him and Sean Porter, I'm not surprised because him and Sean Porter have my buddy and me. So yes, I could see that shit, man. And all of this Sean Porter capping for Terence Crawford, there's got to be a reason why he's capping, man. He's probably giving up that butt, man. I'm not surprised. I don't put nothing past these dudes, man. Nothing. Mm-hmm. If there's one thing I've learned, and Ross has learned this in life, we don't put nothing past people, man. We don't put nothing past people. Nigga, Ox, boy, Ox, you might end up taking Buzz's woman. I don't blame you. He said no disrespect, but Buzz's wife is thick and beautiful. She should be in the forefront. Ox, you might have to take off a Bud. You might have to take off Bud, man.
Especially if she there, right? Like if she don't have a somewhere else where she's sick, or if she's there, then she should be seen.
Yeah.
Unless some niggas get with these BBW girls and be afraid to be with them.
Yep.
If you gonna be with her, be with her.
Yep. And that's why we don't. That's why when now I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Put your ass. I'm a ban. Yeah. I'm a
when you ban your ass. You so emotional. You start calling men you don't know. Like
exactly. This is why I banned him. I banned him because he tried to come in and solicit his own bullshit ass series nobody wanted to watch, and then Ross canceled Christmas on him. So he's mad that nobody went and watched this bullshit series. So now he want to come here and talk shit. Yeah. Fuck out of here, nigga. Fuck out of here, man. He said, I give reasons why with any accusation I make and proof. Okay, well, that's you.
Let me speak on that.
Yeah, go ahead.
When you don't want to believe what's being accused, no reason will suffice. You ever seen a woman who don't want to believe the truth about their man? They will stop talking to their best friend.
Yep.
Their best friend can have their man on camera getting done. And she'll be like, I don't believe that's him. You know what? Get out of my house.
Yep.
That's the mentality y'all got right now. Y'all acting like women.
Exactly.
Y'all acting like women. A woman would tell their best friend, like, why you showing me this?
Yep.
Nah, I don't believe that. Because they don't want to acknowledge the truth. Here's the problem about it. You don't want anything to be altered. This win helps you feel better about your life. And the fact that it may not be true is affecting your life when it shouldn't.
Facts.
When it shouldn't. If I was a Bud fan, if I was a Bud fan and it was y'all mentality that nothing matters, I'd be like, okay, so what? Errol Spence signed the contract, he lost. I definitely wouldn't be coming on here every day trying to act like I don't see the proof of the shit. I wouldn't even be on here. I wouldn't even be on here.
Yeah, I'd be trying to hide so that and hope that these motherfuckers go away with the exposure. That's what I would do. Give it time and hope that the exposure will simmer down. But y'all too dumb to realize what y'all doing. Y'all just buffering our points even more. But the Kegi said Yusef Mack had eight kids from different women, but the truth came out about him. Look at all the reports about Puff Daddy. Man, this dude is bringing some shit. You know what, Ross? Now we have to ask the question: is Terence Crawford homosexual? Now we got to ask that fucking
question. I ain't gonna do that
because there's too many dudes. There's too many dudes out here with meat checks. But they want to look at Terence Crawford below the belt. I mean, there's too much shit going on, bro.
Yeah, but Nah, to me, a man's masculinity ain't nothing to play with, and I don't have no proof that he's gay, so I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna go that far.
I feel you on that. I feel you on that, and
I mean, you welcome to do whatever you want to do.
I'm gonna respect. No, I'm gonna respect you as a fellow double dragon. You are, but me, I'm gonna start asking these fucking questions because I can't have a big Tyrone 720 come in on our shit every day and be so ready to cap for butt. Now it's all making sense to me because I'm trying to figure out why this dude keep coming back.
I ain't gonna argue. I think that this latter generation, this younger generation, I think a lot of them, I think a lot of them think that they have to do something good just to see if they're not good. I think a lot of them into that.
Yep.
So whenever I see a young dude, I low key be like, this nigga might be suspect because I know because the niggas in the 80s were still able to get raised without no mom. And still not be a lot of them still not be suspect. We still have some tendencies that needed to be broken, but not like these cats right here. These cats right here, that even the way they wear their hair is suspect.
It's suspect.
When they get upset, it's suspect. They move their neck back and forth when they talk. Like everything they do is women like, so you never know. But I can't put that on him just because a part of his fan base is suspect.
Fair. That's fair. And you know what? I respect you for it. But I'm gonna have to start asking that question my damn self. I'm gonna have to do content on that shit. And I know it's gonna piss some people off, but you know what? Thank you, Dekegi, for saying that shit. Because guess what? Something's just not adding up. Why all these dudes coming out the woodworks wanting to do meat checks, check Terence Crawford below the belt? You know, I'm just trying to figure this out. I still said there's plenty of married women with children who harbor homosexual tendencies. Sometimes the wife is just a front. Political candidates do it all the time. Yes. And let's not forget, boxing is a form of Hollywood because it is part of Hollywood too. So we cannot be surprised if there's crazy shit going on behind the closed doors with those motherfuckers as well too. I'm sorry to say that, but it's the truth. Nothing to me. I'm at a point now because this fight did not play out the way it was supposed to on an even playing field. I'm to a point now, nothing is off the table for me. Nothing. Because when they tried to push this fake fight in our eyes, you know what they told us? Nothing's off the table with them. So if they telling us nothing's off the table with them, then my counter to them is nothing's off the table with me and the bullshit you tried to show me.
Yeah, but the reason why I'm not going that far because I didn't go that far with Errol. When Errol was doing that young boy shit with Yellow Beezy, I had to take consideration.
We called him out on that shit. We said that was gay as shit.
Yeah, but I didn't say he was gay. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference. I ain't say he was gay. I say that's just sus. You know what I mean? But I've been in leadership, being in the Navy 20 years, I seen how the generations started to falter and started to play like that. You know what I mean? And just down the third and shit. You know what I mean? I just never seen it up close and personal between two brothers. And I know there's brothers who play like that. They never did it around me because they knew how thorough I am. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yeah, this is suspect, but I still didn't think that Errol was gay. Like I don't necessarily have enough to say Bud gay, so I'm not gonna play with his masculinity like that. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
But there's a subgroup of his fan base that suspect for sure.
And I want to know why, and I'm wondering why they're fucking suspect like that. Because in boxing, I've never known any group of fans to be suspect about a boxer. Even when they rooting for the box, they just fanboy for the boxer.
We know a group. Canelo and Lomachenko.
Canelo and Lomachenko. You're right. Yeah, I almost forgot. Canelo and Lomachenko. Yeah, you're right. I almost forgot about that shit because there was a dude on the live that said Canelo was sexy and Lomachenko was handsome. I forgot about that shit. Yeah, ridiculous. I can never. Me, you, and Ox can never unhear that. I think we always hear that in our minds every time something weird. So every time a dude come on the live with moisture, that shit always comes in the back of our minds that some dude actually said that on the fucking live. So yeah, you're absolutely right. At that part that you said with Terence Crawford, you know, I'll admit it probably would be at this point. It's too early, so it's a bit excessive. So I'll hold off on that. But if the intel come out, you know me, I'm gonna drop the information on that shit quick, fast, in a hurry, like
I
UPS.
mean, you
That
can
one
do
I
it now.
withhold.
If that's what you want. That's just your. You can
I
do whatever
withhold.
you want to do on your platform. I'm just saying
No, I'm
I
gonna
can't
withhold.
touch it.
I'm gonna withhold. I'm gonna withhold that one
Yeah,
because
I,
it's not right to do that. That
yeah.
is not right. Some things are
I'm
just not
trying to
morally
play
right.
with the masculinity of black men because we already getting damn near
Yeah,
everything we do. Black women say we gay for doing it.
yeah.
If you choose to see two black men hugging, you'll see somewhere down in the comment section where a woman be like, "That's gay.
Yeah.
Why they hugging?"
Yeah. When you hear wise counsel, a fool rejects wise counsel. When you hear wise counsel, you're supposed to just accept it. A fool rejects it. So, and I ain't no fool, so I ain't gonna reject wise counsel. Because that's some shit right there that can get Buzz team to sue the fuck out of you, and then you got to deal with lawsuits with their ass and all this other bullshit. So, yeah, that's one of them things you got to let the information come out, and then you could dissect it. Like P Diddy, the information is already out. You can dissect it. This USAF Mac guy, the information is out, so you can dissect it. You gotta let the information be out so that you
Right.
can dissect it. So yeah. Um, somebody asked, what if Spence lose the rematch? That's not happening. It's a trilogy, man. You got to put that in the back of your mind. This is a 3-fight deal. Boxing is going to make money off of this shit. The last time boxing had a trilogy was Wilder and Fury. And look at Wilder and Fury. Are either one of them gonna go to get back in the ring?
Right.
No. They've made so much fucking money. These guys are chilling. That's how much money they made. And then the previous trilogy before that was Muhammad Ali and
Joe Frazier.
Joe Frazier. And what happened? What did boxing gain from that? So these trilogies, boxing knows trilogies work. They know they can make a lot of money off a trilogy. So there's not just gonna be 2 fights. You gotta wake your brain up. There's gonna be 3 fights from this situation. Thurman is not gonna be Spence's replacement. See, there you go with the nonsense. That's not gonna happen. Thurman is not no Spence replacement. Now you're
It's
talking.
crazy how people still talk about Thurman. Thurman
Yep.
career is over with. He had his time.
And
He's supposed to fight
and if
Spence.
Bud beats Earl again, are you going to make more excuses? I'm gonna say this again. There's no way that this is just 2 fights. Just like Bud got everything he wanted in the first fight, everything's gonna return back to normal in the second fight. So I don't know what y'all talking about, man. When y'all keep saying there's only gonna be 2 fights.
If he beat him the same way to where it don't look right, yeah, I'm gonna say something again. If the nigga
And
come
I'm gonna say something again then.
if he come in looking like he's drunk, if he come in getting hurt by every punch, yeah, because Crawford don't hit like that.
Exactly.
What do y'all not understand? To me, it don't matter who is what.
Yeah.
The fight didn't look right.
And then the coin toss that Ross was talking about, when Ross said, I want to know what was done in that coin toss. When people say Errol Spence said no excuses, that could have been very well written in the fucking contract too, to make y'all believe that what y'all saw was real. What is a better way to make people think something is real than the person themselves to give you this actor-filled performance, this drama-filled performance, so that you can believe that the shit was real? If I come out and say, well, no excuses, man, I got my ass whooped, I'm automatically, if I have a fan base, I'm automatically making the fan base acquiesce to what I'm saying. Especially if I'm in on it. The actual real way that Earl would have reacted at the end of the fight, Earl should have been like, man, something just wasn't right. I don't want to make no excuses, but something was right. Deontay Wilder actually acted real at the end of the fight. And the reason why I say that is because Deontay Wilder was like, man, listen, man, there was a lot of shit going on. People thought he was making excuses, but he was actually being real about what was going on behind the scenes in the bullshit fight. If anything, Earl was compromised, period. Because Earl acted out of character. Earl's character is not to be fake. That's why his moniker is the truth. He acted out of character the whole fucking fight. Every nuance that had to deal with the fight, he acted out of character.
Hey, Freddie is back. And you notice it's the LeBron. It's the LeBron James fans with that mentality that automatically say anything that requires you to think or to break shit down, they automatically go with that. It's like thinking is too hard for them.
Yep.
If you have to think, if they have to, if they have to decipher something, their mind automatically shut off. They go with whatever everybody else is saying.
So, Freddie Gee, I want to ask you a question. How did it feel when you left? You went to D. Jefferson, and now you have to tuck tail and come back here. How does that feel? How does that make you really feel? I did not tell your rabbit ass you would be back. You told me if you don't remove Tom Ross, I'm leaving. And what did I tell you? Leave. And aren't you back? As a matter of fact, you need to fucking donate because guess what? Your ass then came back to the platform. We knew you was gonna come back. Me and Ross even said it. We betted. We said, man, he's gonna come back. This shit too damn good. His ass gonna come back. So you need to give us a donation, man. You need to give us a damn donation. You don't watch none of us, but you on this live. Isn't that ironic? You don't watch none of us, but you on the live.
Right.
Isn't that ironic? That shit don't make no sense.
And then you're not even man up to show your face no more.
Yeah, you're not. You know why he's not man up to show his face no more? He probably got fat as fuck. That's right.
Yeah, you're not man up to show his face no more. Nah,
yeah, that's right what it is.
He went out like a sucker talking about get Ross off the channel.
Yeah, he went out like a sucker. And he got a tuck tail to come back. It's okay to come back and say, you know what, Ross, I'll admit, man, you was fired, man. It's my bad, man. It's my bad, man. I got to give it credit. Yeah, you ain't been here, what, 3 years? And then you came back. Yeah, what Stay Real TV is gone. I could have been told you that. I could have been told you that, but you was gone for 3 years and you came back. But I predicted you was gonna come back. I predicted it. I said that. I think it was like 3 days later. Me and Ross looked at each other. We said, "This nigga gonna be back." It didn't matter how long it took. We knew it was gonna come back because you said, "I'm going to D. Jefferson." I told you when his channel go down, you're gonna be right back. And what happened? 2 things happened that was true. His channel went down, and you're back. Isn't that what happened? The channel was gone, and you're back. All these people that said, I don't even want to deal with Alistair. I think he probably got super titties now. That was the motherfucker. That's his name now. The motherfucker that said Canelo is handsome. Canelo is sexy, and Lomachenko is handsome. But we know why. Because you remember what you were saying, Ross? These young niggas, you can't trust them. Alistair looked like he must have had reconstructive surgery in his chest. Because that nigga had titties, though.
He was young. He was so young. He was like that.
I remember you said he stood up. You said, "Does this nigga got titties?" And that nigga was trying to fix his shirt, man. That shit was funny as hell. But now we understand why he's saying because he got a lot of estrogen inside of him, man. That's what it is. It's a lot of estrogen. So it is what it is, man. But it's interesting to see that Joe ass is back. Damn right. Hey, you got to tune in on the basketball live. Richie Rich even asked, where's this clown named Freddie Gee? Right. I'm gonna have to tell him now. Freddie Gee's back. But Freddie Gee, you owe us a donation, man. Real talk. Because you brought your rabbit ass back here, you owe us a donation, man. I'm gonna just put it out there. As a matter of fact, y'all need to donate to motivate, man. Come on, man. We got.
But you know what this comes down to? This comes down to niggas just not liking the PBC.
Yep.
That's what it comes down to. Who's the next? Because ESPN fighters left, they lose all the time.
Loma got exposed.
Lomachenko lost to Salido.
Yep.
Top ranked fighters lose all the time. This comes down to niggas just hating on
Manny Pacquiao got exposed. Canelo got exposed. They don't talk about that.
Canelo lost to fucking Beaver, man. He's trash.
He lost to Dimitri Bivol. Canelo's career is praying for a resurrection right now. That's why he's gonna fight small ass Mel Charlo. Fuck out of here, man.
Right, and that's a rigged fight. Whenever a fighter is moving up 2 weight classes to fight you, it's it's automatically rigged for you to win. If you can't win that fight, Canelo's not only is Canelo supposed to win, he's supposed to dominate and stop him. If Canelo struggles in that fight ever so slightly, he's overrated. He's supposed to dominate and stop Charlo.
Well, he's already been proven overrated. He's just gonna be extremely overrated.
No, I'm talking about he should be overrated even to his fan base if he don't win by dominant stoppage.
Facts.
Yeah, man. Don't come here with that Canelo shit. Everybody on this side know Canelo's trash.
Exactly.
Even Mexico knows. He got a whole country. He can't even do $100 million a fight.
Exactly.
He only made $100 million all last year. Floyd was doing that in one fight.
Mm-hmm.
Well, even his own country don't support him. They know he trash.
Yep. People always say we make excuses when our favorite fighters lose. No, it ain't about excuses. It's about what you saw. You're not a real man if you saw Spence versus Crawford and you didn't have question marks about what you saw in front of you. That's not even an excuse thing. It's about Earl didn't look like Earl and Bud looked like Bud didn't look like Bud. That's the thing. That's the nuance behind it. Earl didn't look like Earl. Bud didn't look like Bud.
Right. All in one year.
All in one fucking year.
One dude is noticeably way bigger.
Mm-hmm.
One dude noticeably got super power,
yep.
ridiculous power. He never had that power.
Yep.
Right? Because Errol Spence barely get hurt. So how did you get this nigga hurt him with everything? One dude who normally fights more discipline. One dude who normally, looks like a fucking amateur.
Yep.
Something wasn't right.
Earl wasn't Earl. Bud wasn't Bud. But Freddie Gee, you're not the only one that came back. Jose Yepes came back too. He commented on my shit the other day.
We can't drop the link unless you donate $25.
Yeah, that's it.
Then we'll drop the link unless you get what? 3 to 5 minutes?
Yeah, you get 3 to 5 minutes. Talk your shit. But you got to donate, man. You got to donate to that Cash App, bro. Then we'll give you 3 to 5 minutes. And then around 4 minutes and 30 seconds, you get the countdown on when you got to go. So, yeah, man, just let us know. We'll let you talk, but you got to donate. Open up your fucking wallet. If I got to stomach your bullshit, you got to open up your wallet, man. It's that simple.
And hopefully you make some good fucking points.
Exactly. But hopefully see, every time we chin check them, and every time we say, hey, every time we chin check them, and every time we say, hey, you can get on here, but you got to donate, they don't want to do it. So did you really wanted to talk, or you was capping? Which one was it?
It was cappage.
There you go.
It was definitely cappage.
Because you can't go to the grocery stores and tell them, let me get that cereal, but you don't have your wallet to pay. They hit that counter and pay. You know that, right? You know you got to pay for you to walk out and get that cereal, right? All right. He said, I ain't even trying to replenish. What? Okay, whatever.
Yeah, what the hell are you talking about? Nobody there, right? Motherfuckers donate the channels all the time, man.
Yeah, they donate the channels all the time, but they don't want to donate here. So let me do you a favor. Since you're not bringing anything of, if you're not bringing anything of value, then guess what?
Then what the fuck do you mean? EBT? See how little Mexicans be? Mexicans be some of the biggest people who take advantage of food stamps, but they try to act like all black people on food stamps. You say the EBT card, nigga. This nigga owns his own business. And I'm retired.
Yep.
What the fuck is y'all talking about? The money's not needed. The money is demanded because niggas spend all the time talking to y'all. Y'all pay everybody fucking else.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
A motherfucker came on here and just act like they Errol Spence.
Yeah. First of all,
it's Errol. I'm on Nikki's account. Who the fuck is Nikki? Listen, Terence.
Yeah, who the fuck is Nikki? I don't know who Nikki is.
Flat and a bit drained, but no excuses. I'm gonna run it back.
Can you prove? Can you back that up? Can you really prove that? Because why would Earl be on somebody else's account?
My thing is Earl has said this in real life, but we don't know who the fuck Nikki is.
Yeah, I don't know who the fuck that is.
We don't know who Nikki is, man.
Exactly.
But Errol has said this in real life. But I beg to fucking differ.
And if you are who you say you are, this is what I'm gonna say. Why did you accept a bullshit fucking fight? I'm gonna be
Yeah,
real. Why did you accept bullshit terms?
because you giving up your A side, that allow a lot of shit to happen. And just, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like nah.
Who gives up their A side? When does that ever happen in boxing? Whoever does a fucking bullshit ass coin toss. When does that ever happen in boxing? Like, we know what we saw. So y'all could sit here and make us think that we saw something that was real and something that was presented in front of us. Fuck out of here. That was some bullshit. That's what we saw.
Okay. If you think because we don't think LeBron James is the greatest of all time, we don't fuck with you. Salute, nigga. Because I wish
Yeah.
it been that way. If you think that means we don't message you, all right then. Because I ain't
then
never
peace.
gonna say that.
We never gonna say that, man. We never gonna say that. You cancel Christmas on that shit. One thing that we know is Earl's gonna run it back, and the reason why he's gonna run it back is because the fight in of itself is a big ass fight. He's due to make money again, so he's due to go on another Ibiza trip. And on top of that, let's be honest, nobody was checking for boxing until this fucking fight happened. Nobody. Now this fight has happened. Even MMA people are asking, when is Spence and Crawford going to happen again? So please spare us the melodramatics that what we saw was real. And it wasn't. Let's be honest. There was no durability. There was no punching resistance. There was nothing.
Right.
Like, let's be honest. So if you are who you say you are, why weren't you at your best? And don't give me this bullshit about, I was malnourished. And first of all, that sounds like excuses. Okay, thank you. Notice there was one comment, and then the comment has stopped at that point. I'm glad, because at the end of the day, Ross, what we gotta see, and what we're trying to explain to people is this: you gotta start questioning what they put in front of you, man. Like, really, you gotta start questioning shit. If you don't question what's in front of you, then you always gonna believe what's in front of you, man.
Yep.
Since when did Terence Crawford hit somebody so hard in the first round, they start splatting blood from one side of the ring to the other? I had a friend that went to the fight and saw that shit. He said the blood almost got to him, almost hit him in the fucking stands. The blood was hitting other people in the stands. Since when a dude hits so hard like that to where he can start piercing another man's face to that level? I know what it is. Loaded gloves. I know what it is. Padded gloves. I know what it is. PED usage.
So hold on. Listen to this. The person who just said, hold on. Click on Nikki. I got something I need to say. The person who just gonna show you how crazy Terence Crawford fans is. This person went to make an account to act like he Errol Spence.
Yep.
He just said the fight was fair and square. Now he come back and say, go watch Terence Crawford get his hands wrapped and watch me get mine wrapped. He stacked his wraps. He put tape first, which makes the glove solid. I thought you just said the fight was rigged. It was fair and square. Now you come back saying the opposite. A nigga just made an account to act like he Errol Spence. Do we realize how delusional that is?
That's why my eyes is rolling. Like, do you not realize that you just contradicted yourself? You just buffered our point. You just buffered our fucking point. You just made our point. Cash Crypto said, question everything or else you're a lamb being led to the slaughter. Facts. You got to question everything that's presented in front of you, man. If you don't question everything that's presented in front of you, you'll fall for any damn thing. And I'm not. Last time I checked, Ross has said this quote, and I'm gonna say it. I was born at night, not last night.
Right.
So you ain't gonna fool me with the bullshit. I'm sorry. Well, Freddie Gee, you have proven yourself as an ultimate fence straddler. You
No,
went.
well,
You was right.
he said aerosexual, so that means he follows. That means he follows Showbiz Pizza now.
Yeah.
The Showbiz Pizza is the one that's saying aerosexual.
Yeah.
When in reality, this dude's been topping off top rank and Eddie
Yeah.
Hearn for like the last 10 years.
Yeah. And you could tell he's been out of the loop because what you're not realizing is a lot of Bud Man fans are homosexual. I didn't know if you knew that. Like we got them coming into our platform week in and week out talking about Terence Crawford's meat package. So I don't know. Are you a Terence Crawford fan? Because that's what it sounded like to me. Because then I have to start asking, are you checking his meat package as well too? Because we've had guys actually say the reason why Terence Crawford was going to win is because he has a big meat package. So
Right.
Freddie, do you check people's meat package? Are you a dingling watcher?
Right,
I'm
man.
just trying to find out. Are you a dingling watcher?
Glizzy inspectors. Glizzy inspectors.
Woo.
You know what I'm saying?
Like Jaguar Assassin said, dingling watcher. Damn right. They're dingling watchers, man. What did you think was gonna happen, Freddie? You think you was gonna come back and not get roasted? You was gonna come back and get roasted. Best thing for you to do right now is say, you know what? I had to come back to the best platform ever. I had to come back and enjoy the both of y'all. I had to come back and eat shit because Ross was just too fire. And just donate, man, and be done with it.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Any nigga named Champion, nothing you say even deserve attention. Horizon,
Yeah.
Errol didn't make any excuses when he lost. Why are you guys making excuses? Errol didn't make any excuses. We're not making excuses. We're bringing up things that we saw. Now you can say you didn't see those things. That's one thing.
Yep.
But we're bringing up things that we saw. Things that are fact. It's fact that Terence Crawford's under investigation right now for loading.
Yep.
It's fact that he worked with Victor Conte, who's known to be a PED cheat.
Yep.
Right? It's fact that Errol Spence looked like something was wrong with him before that fight. It's also fact that Terence Crawford didn't take off his gloves at no point. After the fight, that you could actually see him take off the gloves. It was backstage. These things are fact. You can act as if they didn't happen. We're just saying facts of what we saw. No excuses on no side. We're just saying what we saw. Now, are you saying these things didn't happen? Are you saying that Terence Crawford didn't say out of his own mouth he didn't feel any of Errol Spence's power? Even though Errol Spence has broken people's eye sockets? Are you saying he didn't say that? You guys are the one that are delusional, not us.
Freddie G, you are irrelevant, man. Until you donate. You owe this platform donation. You owe me and Ross a donation because you left thinking the grass was greener. You like a bitch. You thought the grass was greener and you come back. This is you did with typical women behavior. Women always come back. They always circle back. You circle back. We said your ass was gonna circle back. And you circle back. So you owe us a fucking donation, man. It's that simple.
We weirdos, but y'all here watching us.
Exactly.
Why you here?
They love it, man.
I'll tell you right now, I don't watch no weirdos. I don't watch no weirdos.
Exactly.
I wouldn't know about this Adin Ross shit that happened with Charleston White if it didn't go viral. I don't watch Adin Ross because he's suspect. Exactly. I don't watch no weirdos. But y'all here watching us, which means y'all look up to us. Y'all want to be us.
Exactly.
Y'all want to be us, man.
Yes.
Y'all look up to us. That's why y'all here. Y'all could be anywhere in the world, but you here.
Think about that. You here.
Think about that.
Greatness personification can only be hindered. The motherfucker can't be stopped.
I would never see a weirdo that I give my time to.
Yep.
That means I'm a weirdo.
Yep.
If I'm giving my time to watch you, then it's something I'm getting. If I'm watching you every day and then calling you a weirdo every day, nah, there's something wrong with me.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. Just keep it 100. You want to be us.
Exactly.
You're a lame. You want to see how it is to be real. So you try to study.
Yep. You trolled yourself. You embarrassed yourself because you The best thing you should have done was just stay away. You came back because you knew this platform gave you something. Ross and myself gave you something that you can't get nowhere else, and you had to come back. You had to come back, man. That's what it is. You're not the only one. Jose Yepes came back. I'm waiting for Alistair. Alistair is the last. Once Alistair comes back, me and Ross probably gonna do a toast for that shit.
But I'll be you got so much problem with what's going on here. Now, why you here? If that's the case, I feel like you should. I feel like you should be banned. Why you here?
There you go. Hey, say no more. Say no more. Say less. There you go. Now you went from being tolerated to now your voice is completely silent. That's it. Now nobody's got to stomach you at all.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, if you don't think that the content you're receiving is valuable, then you shouldn't be here.
Exactly.
You shouldn't be here. Because I see other platforms, and I see what they talk about, and I see the donations they make for basically reading to you a news article.
Yep.
Verbatim. And niggas, yeah, I see it. So,
yep.
Nah, y'all can't tell me shit.
Exactly. That's it. Simple. Boom. My patience is thin. If I got all these types of people in and people are not donating, I mean, come on, patience is thin. Because at the end of the day, we're giving you guys what nobody else can give you guys. The ability to be entertained, relative information, truth, shit that you don't want to hear, but shit that you need to hear. And then on top of that, we're helping you guys to become men. So you're getting 4 levels of information you're not getting anywhere else. You should have been open up your damn wallet books. You should have been donated. We shouldn't have had to tell you guys that. That should have been something that should have been automatic.
The topic is the topic when you clicked on the live stream, man.
Yeah, that's it. You got it's like people can't read. Are you illiterate? Are you illiterate? You can't read? The title's in the is in the damn live.
Yeah, it didn't change. It's the same topic.
It's the same.
Yeah. First of all, people don't realize is the trainer not supposed to touch the gloves that's touching the other person's face. Only the rest supposed to do that. The trainer only after he go in there, the only thing the trainer supposed to do is add tape around the wrist if he has to. He ain't supposed to be doing nothing to the outside of those gloves. People assume he's wiping something off the gloves. You never know. He could have been putting something on the gloves. Why is he touching those gloves? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, at the end of the day, if you come here trolling, saying I'm dropping my cash out, yeah, if you don't think this live stream is of value, then maybe you shouldn't be here.
Exactly.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't be here, Freddie. If you don't think this is value, maybe you should be banned.
That's all I needed to hear, Ross. Once Ross said, I got to do it.
You don't got to wait for me to do it. If they being disrespectful, this your platform. You could get in.
Nah, once you said, I do it, man. It's that simple. Because this is our live. So once you said once you're saying it's like I'm saying it. So it's done deal. It's a done fucking deal. But we're not gonna tolerate the bullshit. You came here 3 years later. It's like a female circling back. She realized the grass wasn't green on the other side. You came back. Least you could do is come back and say, you look, man, you gave us what nobody else, you gave to me what nobody else could give me in terms of content creation, in terms of the comedy, in terms of this and that. Open up your wallet, man, donate. It's that simple. Say this is my way of showcasing the respect that I have for you guys. Thank you, LeBaron Johnson, for sending a $5 cash out.
Exactly. They make sure whenever you see something that will never happen in any other fight, but it's happening all of a sudden in the fight you're watching, know you're watching something rigged, man.
Mm-hmm.
These things are ceremoniously done. They're ritualistically done, right? These commissions
Yep.
have thousands of fights a year. The same shit happens. They didn't forget to
Mhm.
get the gloves. They just didn't get them
Yep.
because then they don't have to do their due diligence. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's ain't hard to figure out, man.
No, it's not. It's really not hard at all.
Salute, Jaguar. Salute, bruh.
Appreciate you, brother.
If Spence wasn't in on it directly, somebody in his camp was in on it. Or or, or,
Man,
or the way I see it is this. At this level, he might not knew exactly what was going to happen, but he knew some fucked up. He knew they were about to put on an event that wasn't genuine. I'll put it that way.
I'm gonna say it like this, Ross. The biggest fight of your career, and you're your own boss, and you have been talking to the other fighter on the other side. Yeah, Spence was in on it, man. Like, I'm not even gonna hold that shit, bro. That shit just don't make sense to me. You know, you. I'm sure you read what was on that bullshit list Terence Crawford sent you, and you agreed to the terms, and you said out of your own mouth numerous times that I'm willing to do whatever to make the fight happen, and they used that against you. So whatever became whatever. I mean, that's just what it is. Whatever became whatever. You said it to the point to where Bud was like, okay, let me leverage whatever, and he leveraged it. So whatever became whatever. Yeah, both sides was in on it, man. It's the only way this shit could materialize. Both parties got to be in on it. That's just the way I see it. Now, who was on the parties was in on it? Yeah, that's speculative. We don't know exactly who. But one thing we know is both sides was in on that shit. That's something we can't escape. For this shit to pull off the way it did, everybody had to be involved, man.
Everybody.
And then when you hear trilogy, now me and Ro, every time we hear trilogy with a fight, that's just like Canelo. Canelo don't have a trilogy, right? He got a trilogy of opponents because he's supposed to fight Mel, then after Mel, Maul. So that means Mel gonna get knocked out. It's like you kind of know this shit now,
Right.
man. It's sad that boxing is making itself predictable, but it's predictable, man. Because why would you need to fight Maul after Mel if you supposedly lose to Mel? That shit don't make no sense. You would only be fighting Maul after Mel if you beat Mel, and then Maul got to get mad because you beat Mel. You know the storyline makes more sense that way.
It's almost like you already know who got to win that fight.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would you fight Maul if you lose to Mel?
Exactly.
And no, you should fight the better fighter if you lose to the weakest brother. The smaller brother coming in 2 weight classes. Like people think they finna see a real fight.
Yeah, man. It's exactly Smoking Bud. He said boxing is the new WWE. That's exactly what it is. We getting these Vince McMahon scripts, man. This shit is crazy. But you know what this revealed to me, Ross, though? It showed me that in this new day and age, you can't put nothing past new age people. That's what the Spence fight showed me. Because even if Spence could even be bought, that means anybody could be bought in this new age, man. That's what it revealed to me. That's the lesson I learned. If I learned any valuable takeaway lesson from this shit, is these new generation of people can be fucking bought. T20 sent us $5. Appreciate you, bro.
Salute, man.
$5.
Always remember, everything that's being said is being split between two people.
Yes.
Thanks for the cash app, bro.
Yes.
Yep, Boston is the new WWE. But think about it, Boston was the WWE before the WWE.
Mm-hmm.
It's been rigged fights, man. They brought Joe Louis back just so he could get knocked out by Rocky Marciano.
Facts.
And they can say that he was better than Rocky Marciano. They can say Rocky Marciano was better than him. They brought him back when he was retired. It wasn't even boxing no more to get knocked out.
Yep. And they gave him. And this is how they got him back. They got him back the way that you get everybody back. They bought him.
Yep.
They gave him money.
people don't realize Joe Louis was in debt his whole career because for him to get a title shot, he had to give, I forgot the percentage. I think it was a nasty percentage, like 60% of his proceeds went to the nigga who gave him a title shot for the rest of his career.
Damn. Wow.
Boston always been dirty as fuck, boy.
Wow.
Always.
Wow. Yeah, it probably Triple H scripts, man. Yeah, you probably right about that shit. Cause there's some scripts like a motherfucker, boy. That's what boxing told me. I said to myself, damn, if Spence can be bought, I don't put nothing past any fighter, dog. And that was the one lesson I learned from that shit. I don't put that because if I thought there was one dude that couldn't be bought, it was him. Now I realize he could be bought, man. I don't put nothing past any of these fucking boxers. It's a free fall now.
And we not the only ones who feel this way.
Yep.
It's motherfuckers, we ain't the only ones. Y'all like we the only ones. There's other motherfuckers feel the same way.
Yep.
That snack shit, man. Whoever worked with snack all of a sudden is trying to cheat. No one affiliates them, no clean person affiliates themselves with a person who's dirty, man.
Yep.
Y'all ain't even rub elbows with the same circle.
Yep.
A clean fighter would never be in the same circle to rub elbows with a Victor Conte for him to say, hey man, I got something that can take you to the next level. Y'all won't even be in the same rooms. So yeah, man, it's something fishy going on around this motherfucker, man.
Big time.
I smell a fresh batch of perch.
Yep.
I smell a fresh batch of perch. There's something fishy going on in this bitch.
Yep. You can say that again.
Yes, indeed.
Man, is there anything else you want to add to this, bro?
Nah, man. I said all I gotta say, man. I said
everything I had to say as well, too, man. It's been real. It's been easy. Y'all don't do anything crazy. Peace.
Peace.